and I'm going to give away all the good sauce today. I don't really care if people research me. Like, I will tell the truth to my own detriment because I sell land.
Sure.
So here I am. I'll tell the secret sauce, but I think it's as important to understand your neighbors as it is your own farm.
Hunter Podcast is brought to you by Deer Grow.
Man, hard to believe, but Deer Grow has been the sponsor that's been there since the beginning of the Hunter Podcast. Back in 2021, I think that they were the only partner that we had, but it's such a cornerstone brand and set of products for our food plot strategy throughout the year.
No doubt. And it seems like we used to have an off season, but not so much anymore. It's like when the hunting season ends, it really rolls right into food plot season, habitat projects, all of the above. And the Plot Start and Plot Boost have been there since the very beginning. That's a cornerstone for all of our plots. The Plot Start goes on at the beginning, Plot Boost goes on midway through. And since they came out with all of the fertilizers, that gets mixed in with the Plot Boost application as well. And I can't believe the results that we've been getting out of that.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like I said, it's all the work now that really produces the results in the fall. So right now, anyone listening to the Hunter Podcast can use code HUNTER, HUNTR, for 15% off any of the products at deergrow.com.
Better food plots, bigger deer.
And we're back.
Hey,
Hunter Podcast, episode 312, we think. Because we talked about 311, the band, which you have or have not listened to since.
I've heard the song. Yeah. No. I haven't listened to him since.
Okay.
But when you bring it up, I'm aware. So
that was our deja vu moment. We were just having a conversation with our guests, and we were like, we said 311 at some point.
Yeah.
I think it's 312.
Well, we're definitely past 311, 312.
Nick's trying a new technique with the titles and stuff on YouTube, trying to crack the algorithm. So, but he throws my game off. So
I'm still relishing in these chairs, man. Every time I sit in, I'm like,
they're very
dude,
nice.
This is a whole new
yeah.
world for us
We've upgraded for sure here on that.
Well, hey, before we get going, I'll thank everybody for being here. Whether you're tuning in on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, those are the three main platforms that we drop these on every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. If you can give us a like or a follow, it will notify you as to when these episodes drop. If you've written us on Instagram DM or the website, those are the two that we check the most frequently. Inevitably, there is a backlog, and but we do try to get back through those sooner or later. We have some Hunter merch on our website. You guys can check that out. A lot of you have supported us in that way, and we'll continue to work on some new stuff for you there.
New website coming?
New website coming here at some point this spring or summer. And in the meantime, you can use code HUNTER, HUNTR, on any of our partners' websites.
Except for Tacticam.
For discount
right now.
In some way, shape, or form. Yep, I did text Kevin. We'll have that for you guys shortly here. So everybody's ready to fire cameras up for Longbeards and stuff like that. And
I say that just because a lot of people wrote in, and I was like, we're working on it.
Off the top of my head here, you can use code HUNTER for some Predator turkey, like the spring green stuff.
Greens.
You can use it for the beast decapper
Deer
stuff.
Grow.
Deer Grow,
Pure
Wildlife. That's the seasonally relevant stuff here. I think you can use that on an HHA if you're looking for a new site this year. And pretty soon here, we'll have them on the Tacticam stuff as well.
There you go. Anyways.
Sorry about that, Tyler.
Anyways.
With us here in studio, Tyler Markham is how you say that, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Tyler Markham.
But spelled like Markham.
Markham.
It is. I literally
I'm sure you've
say
never heard that before in high school.
Ham. Yeah.
Markham.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I
appreciate you driving
all the
in.
way from Central Ohio. We won't spot burn you
I
yet.
don't care. I'm
Columbus.
Yep.
There it
Kind of
is.
south of Columbus. Kind of everywhere.
Yeah, but in there. We are a shout out to the Archery Coffee Company. I told those guys they sent us a bunch of coffee, so we just had some.
It's good.
It's good.
It's really good.
So shout out to those guys. Anybody that sends us free coffee, we drink it.
We appreciate it.
And we appreciate it. Gets us going. Well, cool, dude. Well, we appreciate you coming over to be in studio and stuff. Kind of a long time coming. We were just talking about, we've seen and talked to each other over, a while now, but we met, I guess, officially at ATA show.
Well, briefly. I made fun of you up on Instagram for something, and just in passing.
It's
just
it
was
still burns.
And I promise you, it was purely in passing. I did not seek it out. I caught my eye, and I was like, there were Carhartts, right? It's matching Carhartts. I said it's a matching Carhartt, and then you grabbed me at ATA, and then we found some mutual connections here since, and so that's what brought us here, I guess. So.
Full transparency, my team was like, so we've kind of made it.
We made it. Jared from Hunter made fun of our matching cards.
Commented.
Yeah.
I'm like, but that was my feelings.
We made it.
It's kind of funny because it's like Jared and I have a husband-wife account there because nobody knows who responds when we use the We Are Hunter account.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, and so I'm just like, somebody will say like, oh, well, you wrote me back, and I'm like, Did I?
Did I though?
Did I though?
We can reserve some. Is it anonymity or something
Yes,
like that?
that's exactly it.
Autonomy.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
autonomy, anonymity.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's how it worked. And then coincidentally, we ran into
It was
each other
me though
at
that
the
commented that. Just to be
Yeah,
clear.
it was you.
Yeah, it
Dude,
was me.
I knew.
Yeah. It was your tone for sure. And then
what is my test? Snarky and pessimistic.
Then we crossed paths, not cross streams, cross paths at a urinal at ATA.
He tried.
Yeah, I was trying. I stand usually 6 feet back from the urinal, so
I will never do that again. That was once.
So, anyways, that's the official. So this is now the second gathering.
The second date. Yeah. I appreciate being on here. Seriously, you guys have, I think, easily one of the most influential podcasts in the outdoor space. I listen to all of them. So it's a huge honor for me to be on here. I've loved all of your content. It's probably what kills a lot of my windshield time weekly. So it means a lot to come on here and be on the other side of the mic.
Yeah, man, it's fun. I mean, we like we were talking pre-podcast, like it's just a couple dudes discussion type thing, and obviously you being in Ohio and in Illinois, like we have a lot in common in that crossover standpoint. But I guess before we get into it, I know you mentioned earlier, so born and raised in West Virginia.
Yep.
West by God, Virginia.
Yes, sir. The left Virginia. Yeah. So I've, if I'll give you kind of like the elevator pitch of.
I've never heard that before. Is that a thing?
It is.
The left Virginia.
Yeah. So like when you're in an elevator, and they're like, "Where are you guys from?" Like West Virginia. You're like, "Yeah, I got a friend that's in like
Roanoke."
Right. And I'm like,
no.
The left one.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the other one.
They're over there.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1863 was kind of a thing.
I
They
guess West.
made
Yeah,
another
that makes
state.
sense.
West.
Yeah. So shout out to my Dub V people. I moved to Central Ohio in 23. So,
Okay, so fairly recent.
Yep. Yeah, I've had hunting ground in like southeastern Ohio, Meigs, Gallia, Jackson, those kinds of areas for a long time.
Because were you close? Where were you at in West Virginia?
20 minutes. Ripley, West
Ripley?
Virginia. Yep. So I was 20 minutes from Portland, Ohio.
Yeah.
And as soon as I had my driver's license, I was crossing that bridge as much as I could to hunt.
Yeah.
So I hunted a lot in West Virginia, but my grandpa owned like 200 acres in West Virginia, and he owned 25 acres in Meigs County in Portland. I never touched that 200 in West Virginia.
You're in Ohio all the time.
I was running cameras on that 25, and it was just like, okay, we're wasting our time.
Way better, huh?
Way.
Interesting.
Magical.
Why do you think that was?
Well, that area is pockety. You learn that there's pockets, and when you get in one, I think that Portland area. Here we go. We're going to start early. What's a great area? I happen to have a farm for sale there. So listen,
your farm is Meigs.
Meigs as well.
Yeah. For the record, I've never been to that part of Ohio. Like I think
looks completely different than what you would imagine.
Yeah.
We call it West Virginia, Ohio.
It looks like it.
That's what I call it, West Virginia, Ohio. But down there, back in when I was an early teenager and young 20s, there was a lot of ag. So there was your classic Midwest scenario. There was a lot of ag.
Where?
In southern Ohio,
really?
on the river.
Oh,
A lot of
river
bottom ag, a lot of produce, produce type ag.
Okay.
So, and you're talking irrigation and everything. I mean, you're talking really nice ag, and then you'd have timber right across the road from the river. And I mean, just for whatever reason, the genetics were just really magical there. They were just really, really good. And way before I knew to age deer, like I probably had 150 inch 3-year-olds. So it was.
They're still there.
They are. It's I'm a little bit pessimistic, if you will, currently in Ohio. Not that you guys have ever expressed any of that kind of sentiment, but
no, we love it.
Yeah. My camera's from 2006 to 12.
Yep. Fire.
Just stupid. And not even know what I was doing at that point. Like really know what I had. And so, I spent a lot of time there. Screwed up a lot of big bucks there, but I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like I said, I do think that there's still it is pockety.
When you say pockety, you mean like the genetics are pockety?
Genetics and or just like quality overall and mainly in terms of like just getting them to age, but genetics for sure. Yeah. Like they're, nothing against it because like the average mature deer is going to be an 8-point, right? But if you fall into those, spots where it's average genetics, like you're going to have a bunch of 4 and 5-year-old 130, 140 inch 8 points. Yep. Which is fine. Like, I mean, that's still a really good deer. But there are for sure pockets where like even on my farm, maybe this year, but last year for sure, I had that, mainframe 10 with a split G3 that was probably mid-50s as a 3-year-old. You know, and I had another deer that showed up a couple times this year on that farm that was probably 4 and all over 70, if not in the 70s.
I mean, is that not because on the same farm, like here you go.
Yep.
7-year-old.
I would say that's the average, but I have the genetics for the upper tier. Whereas a lot of farms, I think this is it. Like, and again, I'd kill the shit out of this deer, right?
I mean, Tyler, you're on a lot more farms than we are probably. Like, do you see potential for high scoring deer like almost everywhere, like some more than others kind of thing? And I agree with Jeremy's saying, your average deer is an 8 point. Those are going to be pretty much everywhere. But
what I've learned doing what I do now, I've been full-time in land for 3 years. So I've done a little bit of a lot in real estate, used to flip houses. I've had Airbnbs, mobile home parks, a little bit of a lot. And we put our blinders on to dirt only in 23. So my, case study, if you will, of just walking a lot of farms since 23. I always owned them recreationally prior to that and family stuff.
Yep.
But I really think, and I'm going to give away all the good sauce today. I don't really care if people research me. Like, I will tell the truth to my own detriment because I sell land.
Sure.
So here I am. I'll tell the secret sauce. But I think it's as important to understand your neighbors as it is your own farm, and that is not fun to me. It's not fun. It's not popular. It's not sexy. But what I mean is, even if it's day one, if you think, hey, the farm that you are going to buy is magic, and let's say it meets all your criteria, my first conversation closing or my first project improvement is going to be to spend 2 hours at each house that is a property that is adjacent to me, physically in person, belly to belly, just to figure out what do they want, what do they want out of their property, what do they want to do
prior to a closing.
Sure,
at that point you're locked in.
Sure,
yeah,
100%, sure. And
those are the things too. Not to interject in the conversation here, but not to. Those are things you learn over time. I think, like for me,
I didn't do this stuff prior.
Well,
I didn't do it on a lot of farms.
Like, I always knew that the neighbors. I mean, like, it's kind of common sense these days. It's like everybody knows that the neighbors can impact like you're hunting on a property significantly. So that's always been, even today, that's the missing piece of like, well, how do you find that out? It's not in the listing. It's not something you can.
And
find.
if you're not local, it's even harder.
Yeah, how would you ever possibly know? And I think a lot of people have probably missed out on good farms for that reason. Like, they're hesitate. I mean, maybe not a lot of people, but people who know what they're looking for but aren't as experienced with buying land have maybe missed out on it.
Yep.
Not because being under contract is scary.
It is.
If you don't know what it means and what your rights are as a buyer. But like now, I would feel way more comfortable just getting something under contract. We're just agreeing on a number basically, and the terms and stuff.
Then due diligence.
Then I'm going to go and try to find out, things like that. And if I find something that's a deal breaker for me, it's like, cool. We'll just we'll take our money back and we'll go for something else.
Yeah, and I mean, quickly put agents into the hot seat, if you will. I have nothing against agents. I buy and sell everything that I do myself. I own what I sell, so I'm not an agent. I like working with agents, but good ones. I like the good ones. And so for me, if I was a diehard buyer and I was going to utilize an agent to help me go find that next farm, that would be one of the things that I would ask them to do.
Sure.
As part of the process here, we will get under contract.
Yeah, vet them.
Right, but I want you to go to the neighbors and talk through things.
You would send an agent to go do that?
I sure would. Yeah, if you
make them earn.
You want your
I
commish.
would never do that.
Well, okay, but think of it this way. Sure, I wouldn't do it for the only conversation, but let's say you're at a distance. All right, the agent got a hold of 2 neighbors. Yeah, we're making all this up, but
no, but I think that makes sense because I mean we did that in Illinois effectively. Is we used our agent in Illinois to tell us what the neighborhood was like.
Absolutely. Yep. Give us the lowdown. Give us a scoop. I'm going to use local connections as much as possible. And I'm not saying just because I wouldn't do it doesn't mean that you're wrong or vice versa. But if somebody sent an agent to come talk to me, I'd be like, where's this freaking guy at? Who's buying the farm? Like,
sure.
Where's he at?
100%. But I am picturing in my brain, this avatar of agent who is a diehard outdoorsman. They carry themselves well. They're smart. They're well-meaning.
Few and far between.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Truly. But if you're the agent listening, that's why I wouldn't do it.
Right? Yeah.
But if it's and we can name one, but if it's someone who is like really in the space and knows the area, really well known in the community, like they have billboards in town. If they show up, and they say right out of the gate, hey, we come in peace. I come in peace. I've got a couple crazy hunters from Pennsylvania that just happen to love deer. thinking about buying this farm.
Oh, it's the Hunter boys. Tell them no.
Let me give you this.
PA, no.
I'll agree with you on this stance. If the best case scenario is they know them already, then absolutely. So if you have an agent that's like that and they're like, hey, I sold these other 3 guys their farms already. Yeah. Let me just rope them in. And this is why I'm showing you the farm in the first place.
Yep.
Dude, if you could coordinate neighborhoods in that way, then you can really do something special.
Yeah. But I agree with you. What you're saying is obviously I wouldn't close without shaking the hand of the neighbor, making a face contact. And I don't know that I wouldn't close on a farm if the neighbor's views didn't completely align with mine from day one.
Yeah, because I mean, neighbors are make and break, but they're also could be temporary, right?
100%.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know how you want to phrase it. Like, those are my next thoughts the moment I buy a property is like, can I buy the neighbor?
100%.
Right? If I'm going to build something in an area. If I'm just looking to flip it, then that, but honestly, I haven't sold any property that I own.
Well, once you're locked in, you're committed. You're either buying them or you're fencing them if it's not going to work out, or you're moving or you're selling yours.
Yep.
But you just bought yours, so.
I love the conversation you said. That's what I do to my neighbors as well. Is say, hey, I'm going to, and I say these exact words. I'm going to ask you and tell you this one time. I want to be a great neighbor. I want to be a great team player. I'm probably going to spend a stupid amount of money on these deer. I'd love to help you in any way. I'm here if you ever need something. If you're ever interested in selling, just please call me. And I tell them, I will say this once. I'm not here to badger you. I'm your neighbor. I'm just saying it. And that usually initial conversation, you guys are surprised. Oh, it can be the next week. They're like, oh, well, we've talked about moving. And dude, before you know it,
for anyone listening that is in that situation, I think I'm the same way. I've talked once, and I usually will tell them this because, frankly, it's the truth, and I'm not going to hide it because I look at these neighbor purchases, especially in an area you want to be established, as like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yep.
I'll tell them straight up, I'm like, listen, your property is worth more than me than it is anyone else.
100%.
And so that's how I just did a land contract with my neighbor in Kentucky is 5 years ago. I wrote it up, and I just said, hey, I'm not asking you to do this, but I'm just telling you, here's what mine was appraised at. I'm offering you more than the appraised value. If you ever want to sell it, let's call me because I'll pay more than anyone else. I can promise you that.
And that's the best first right of refusal ever.
Absolutely.
You use this as a coffee coaster.
Yeah.
But we always put
it on the fridge. I don't care.
We jokingly say, let them marinate.
That's it. That's exactly what it is.
Beautiful time of marination.
And they ultimately, especially if they live there, like she still lives there. I surveyed out her house and some acreage with it, and then I just bought all the property that's adjacent to mine. And so, like, why wouldn't she want me to own it?
Win-win. Yeah. And when they see the kind of neighbor you are, I mean, we could just go on and on about, I talk about this in like the relationship nurturing aspect of how do you buy land? People are, it's this overarching hill to climb. It seems like where people say it's just unobtainable to buy land. And I'm always just saying nurture relationships.
I know.
That's where it starts.
Yep.
It's not as daunting if you are not like a robot to people.
Yeah. Or pushy.
Yep.
Like if you go over and you're like, hey, listen, I want to buy your property. And they're like, I'm not interested. Say, okay, well, like, what's it going to take? Like what? No, they're not interested in selling. Like, don't be pushy on them like that. Yep. Not only is that going to, probably put you in a position where they don't want to sell to you, but like now you're that neighbor. They're like, I don't even want this guy in here. And frankly, if they're like, all they care about is deer, then they may not care about deer as much and might make an impact on you.
I do think depending on your relationship with the neighbor and like their temperament and your personality and stuff, it's like I think you can get away with more frequent than just once.
I find my ways.
I'm kind of on a once a year. You know what I mean, type thing.
I'm on a once every 6 months if I see they're unhealthy.
But it can't be the only communication. It can't be like, hey, just check in and see if you want to sell that thing. It's like you should, for everything that you ask, you should offer probably 2 things. It should be like, hey, if I can help you out with this, or we're gonna have this going on. We have this firewood. We're planting a switchgrass. But hey, again, if I can ask you, just I don't need it now, but just here's my annual reminder.
Well, it's situational, like you said. Life changes are a big one. Whether that's divorce. Getting older, health, whatever it might be. For mine and Meg's, like I never really had intentions of building anything bigger than the 130 I bought. But when I was cutting timber with Madison on it, the neighbor decided to have Madison cruise their 50 acres. And what happened was they basically owned it too long to do a tax basis. Yep. So if they sold it, even with the timber standing, or if they took it off, like they were going to have to pay the capital gains on it. So I bought it, frankly, a little over market value, but then I got the tax basis and cut the timber off of it. And then that put me in a position to do a deed swap with the neighbor next to me because they wanted the little cabin and some acreage on the one side of the road, and I didn't want that. But they had 66 acres that was landlocked basically behind me, and I did want that. And so it's just a domino thing, right, of how that all comes together. So, yeah, it's all about good relationships. I can tell you one thing. Your deer hunting will surely not improve with tense relations with your neighbors. It will not get better.
Amen.
Won't happen.
And in my early 20s and mid-20s even, I'm 37 now, I probably didn't care as much about what the neighbors' aspirations for their land were. And I have 3 kids now. You know, one's 12, 10, and 3. And when people say, like, I just want to get out and me and my son shoot a deer, like, I actually care now what that means.
Yeah, you get it.
And I'm like, I have a blind right here on the east side of the farm. If you guys just want to shoot deer, like, hey, man, let's do it.
Go for it.
Why do I care?
I know.
You know, but let's openly share pictures. Let's talk about the deer that are on the hit list. If you're okay with that, like something that I never did at this home farm that I sold. It hasn't closed yet, but I sold this farm in Jackson that my family, we would have called our home farm. And I always wanted to have like a cookout on the ridge, if you will, every year. Just invite everybody, everybody, and just ask. Like, if you're open, I'm going to be open. I'll share every picture I have of anything. I just want the same in return.
Yep.
And I just want to know what your goals are. I'm not asking you to adopt mine. I'm not asking you to do near what I do. I just want to better understand your goals because I think we can win bigger if you're not saying, well, this neighbor does this and this neighbor does this when we're all on the same page. Surely there's synergy that we can come up with where a rising tide raises all ships. I didn't do it. I always thought aspirationally.
Well, it's tough from a coordination standpoint. I mean, I think it means well, right? But from a coordination standpoint, and frankly, in some of these communities, I'm not knocking it, but it just is what it is. Like if you're in, you know, Southeast Ohio or West Virginia or Eastern Kentucky or some of these poorer areas, like people don't look at that well because you're an outsider coming in. Now, is it like, are they just flashing money or are they just trying to like buy our likes essentially?
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's a tough thing. It takes time to build respect and trust in the community as well. But I think once you do that, you've got a really good opportunity. I have great neighbors in Meigs County. I had some issues when I bought it, but that was with the people that were living in a house that was on the property at the time. And I gave them a very quick rundown. I said, listen, I'll let you stay here. You're renting for dirt cheap. I don't want the house. I don't want to do anything with it. But if you do drugs and any of the neighbors tell me about issues here, it's gone. And they did. And I kicked them out and I bulldozed the house. Yeah. And that wasn't.
It was like telling crackheads not to smoke crack in their house. Like,
it was. What really happened is I had a tractor there, and they literally.
We definitely won't.
They drilled 3-inch screws into the battery to try to jump start the tractor.
That's awesome.
And I went to him pretty cleanly. I said, "Listen,
there's terminals on it already."
Oh yeah. I was like, "Listen, this is it. I gave you fair warning. You're out." And they're like, well, what are you going to do with the house? And I was like, I'm going to bulldoze it. And I did. I did. And so, I mean, that's what you just have to, and I'll tell you what I did earn, the respect of every legitimate neighbor around me because they knew that was the problem.
And they were the problem people.
They were the problem people.
You were the landlord at that point.
And I was like, listen, I'll take care of it. And then when they asked if I was going to rent, I said, no, I'm going to rip it down. In fact, one of the neighbors offered to do it for free.
Let's go.
And it was perfect because
now the Southern Ohio's comes out.
It improved the neighborhood. Everybody was thrilled that happened. Yep. And then they respected me for acknowledging that it was a problem that they had to deal with. Because it didn't bother me. Like, I wasn't really there.
Yeah.
But when that took care of, they're like, okay, this guy actually cares about this area.
Yeah. Amen.
Have you had any success? Like, I know you didn't get to do your big event, but have you had any success with getting neighbors on board, like with management goals?
So to be
you or clients or anything like that?
To be super transparent, I haven't tried very hard myself. I haven't tried very hard. Let me think about that. So me or clients.
When you say clients, you mean like is somebody he sold the property to?
Yeah, they have for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had some that have had success.
I haven't. In what way do you know? I mean, like, is it So,
Yeah.
well, here, and I'll
Kind of like a deer share, more of a, hey, let's have an open transparency.
see. I've had plenty of success with that, like getting the
There's so many guys that won't
lines
do
of
that.
open communication. I would say, like in Illinois and Ohio, like we know all of our neighbors, most if not.
Sometimes we
not
take
all.
the first step, and it's like, hey, let's just send them pictures, and
Sure, and
if they don't send them back, no biggie. But we tried.
that part's easy. I mean, to me, it's like
Sure. It's a low lift.
it's pretty doable. You know, it's like sure, we're willing to share pictures. You could prove me wrong maybe if we, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct in saying that like I've never had success getting somebody to like change a deer that they would shoot or not.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like trying to push that on people, but just in an effort to say, hey, we have this open communication. Here are these deer kind of thing. The closest would have been this Amish guy last year that shot Temptation. You know, we were borderline. We were on the same page. That would have been the first
Because you guys were both going to shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he
did
gave me the option to say, if you think we shouldn't, then I will pass.
Yeah.
We didn't, you know what I mean? It didn't get far enough in, to,
he
for her.
died.
And then later on, they did shoot one of the 3-year-olds. So like, that's what kind of that's what kind of happens kind of thing. But I think at the end of the day, dude, the reality is just there are so few, it's 1% of maybe the hunting population, if not the bow hunting population, which is way even smaller.
But even
is willing to pass deer like that, to
But
pass a 150-inch 4-year-old.
think about the dynamic though, even within a property. So let's say like my property.
Yeah, that's what does it. There's always somebody's got a kid. It's always somebody who's I haven't shot a buck in so
Because
many.
I'm not.
There's
I
always
don't have
something.
any food plots. I just have a hill.
Yeah,
What you're
like-
calling the dynamic, I'm calling. Yeah, I mean excuses.
Well, I mean,
Small
so
town
like
politics.
let's just say hypothetically though, like I owned a property next to you. I'm on the same page. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm shooting. I'm going for mature deer. I'm shooting, whatever. Hey, these are on the list. These are off the list.
Sure.
But as soon as I put a kid out there with me, that's out the
It's over.
window.
Yeah, it's game over.
So I mean, it's just like it's.
That's what I mean. There's
I'm not
always
saying
something.
I'm not saying this in a pessimistic way. I think it's impossible anymore.
I've never had any success with it. So I'm
If
tending to
you
agree
don't
with you.
own as big of a chunk of land as possible, and even with that in a bait state, we can talk about that'll throw out the window. I think it's impossible to have enough neighbors on the same page, knowing what a buck's
the only
home
people
range is
that will
gonna be.
ever agree and follow
today's
through on
society.
that are the 1%. Like, so it's us
100%.
trying to talk you into it. If you tell me, hey, I'm not going to shoot that deer, I'm like, dude, I want to shoot that deer until he's 10 years old if you don't want me to. Like, great.
Well,
I want him to live forever.
It has to be, to me, it has to be both and, not either or, meaning both and as in let's adopt as much management strategy together as possible.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to ask me not to shoot a deer, then I'm going to ask you not to do something else. Like if we're going to be on the same page, we've got to be on the same page. Like I'll give you a great example. Let's just say Megs. If there's really low deer density, well, my whole life we've had a deer drive and we like to shoot 20 does. It's like, no, dude, we have 20 here.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
That's all they'll laugh.
I'm not going to shoot this 4-year-old, but you can't go shoot 17 does with your cousins this Christmas.
Right.
Oh, well, I can't call that off. Well, the 4-year-old zipped.
Yeah,
He's
done.
dead. Like, yeah, because you can't have it both ways. It's got to be both and.
And I mean that is the problem in these EHD areas is that for so many years everybody's just there's a deer in every woodlot. Like there has not been a shortage of deer in these counties since the early 90s at least. And so now, like after having a big EHD, and I'm picking on Southern Ohio, but it could be
I'm there. Let's
Eastern
go.
Illinois, it could be wherever,
Iowa.
Kentucky, Iowa, Western Iowa. Now people are going to kill deer because that's the only deer they saw or they're not seeing. And so these herds are going to have a really, really tough time to rebound if the pressure continues and there's no self-regulation, which I think is self-regulation is almost impossible as a hunting culture. And I don't blame them, right?
Just people.
We're bad at it.
It's
We don't govern well.
it's a hobby for most people, right? The goal is I buy a tag, I go out, I kill a buck. Like that is what it is. And so if I only see 2-year-olds, I'm going to kill a 2-year-old.
Yep.
That's just how it is. If I'm seeing 2 and 3 and 4-year-olds, like it's a normal year, things are going, then maybe I'm holding out on 2-year-olds and I'm going to shoot a 3 or 4-year-old. But that's just how it's going to be. I told you this with your neighbors. I'm like, listen, when the moment you guys start killing all your 4-year-olds, your neighbor's going to kill all the 3-year-olds because now they don't see 4-year-olds, so they'll kill 3-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's just what it is from a social side of hunting anymore, for deer hunting at least.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a tough thing to get over. I don't know. I mean, we talked about the practice as you preach type of thing. I do think that there is a period there, much like we've seen in like the landscape level of Pennsylvania or whatever, is as people start to see 3 and 4 and 5-year-old bucks in the wild, eventually they start to come up, right? Maybe they're like, I'm not going to shoot this 3-year-old. I'll shoot a 4-year-old. Right. But if it's a 150-inch 3-year-old, he's dead.
It's almost what you have to do is like if you can just like stall them somehow or
give him a 7-year-old. That's what give him a 7-year-old buck or give him a.
The problem is like,
what
so
do you mean,
here you
give it to
go.
him?
Like they want to shoot
That's
a 3-year-old.
That's a 7 or 8-year-old, right?
But if you knew it was, could you give it to the neighbor? Like, I've got a deer that you will kill in 3 nights.
He'll kill the 150-inch 3-year-old in a heartbeat over this.
Typically in those situations too, it's like they're not there. Like nobody. It's not like I have them and they don't kind of thing.
Well, you did. I mean, like think about Lebrowski, right? Mm-hmm. That was a 7+-year-old buck.
Yeah.
Not a big deer whatsoever.
Right.
But if you had him versus a 150-inch 3-year-old, which you probably had running around, like they would shoot the 150-inch 3-year-old all day long, and he's more visible, right? The 7-year-old is not visible.
Definitely, I have a hard time. Like, I can't wrap my mind as much around like guys passing super giant-bodied deer because these are not like diehard.
I don't think they are passing them. I just think
they don't either.
See them because this deer's smart. The 3-year-old is not.
That's fair. Yeah,
that's why.
Do you think
so? You don't think they're passing? They just,
no,
they
just don't see them.
Yeah, I would agree. Same with like Floppy in Illinois. It's a great example. 130
I would never have passed
30-inch. Yeah, mega 6.5-year-old.
But he was smart.
Yeah, I don't think people were passing him. I just don't. Yeah,
they didn't see.
You
him.
Agree? Okay. The Hunter Podcast is brought to you by Hoyt.
Should be no surprise to anyone listening to this that back with Hoyt another season. I'm actually going to be shooting the AX2 aluminum this year.
You traitor.
But you're still going RX9.
Yeah, blacked out as always.
Blacked out. Yeah. Big surprise for everyone.
80 pounds. Big surprise. Yeah.
But seriously, man, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Every year, it seems like we get a new Hoyt bow in our hands, and they're always a step above the last and just a step above everybody else.
Yeah, they're so consistent, man. Just their processes get better, every year. And we've really been excited about, as we've grown with Hoyt, we've brought some others in with us. And we just feel like the Hoyt family is growing, like the community, and we're really excited about the people that are involved, excited to be a part of that company. And it's really awesome.
So for anyone that's excited about Hoyt like Jared and I are, you can use the code HUNTER, HUNTR, on Hoyt.com.
Get serious, get Hoyt.
Do you think there's a happy medium that could exist where, hey, maybe we're talking, in this ideology of being on board with your neighbors. Maybe some 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds do get shot every year.
They will.
But we can agree on some other things. We know that 3 and 4-year-olds may get killed, but we can agree on, some food plot strategy, or we can agree on, hey, let's all not park our trucks on this side and let's not enter from the west all fall.
Yeah.
I'm just making things up. The wild card I would give, this is something I'm chewing on as like a introduction to, hey, let's work together as neighbors. I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll spend more than you. I'm not trying to lead with that, but I will.
Sure.
Let's, and hot take, but I like the idea of this whole thermal drone deer survey.
Yep.
Not just my farm, your farm, your farm, your farm. Get everybody on board.
Absolutely.
Because then you can sit down and it's, to me, and Madison's done a few for me, so it's been really eye-opening to say, okay, this was the unknowingness of our life previous.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he did my Jackson 500 2 weeks apart, 75 deer difference.
What?
Lighting, the sun, snow.
Damn.
He went when it snowed like a month ago when it was like, dude, it's going to be no brainer. How many deer are there?
Yep.
It was like a lot different. A lot.
Different.
Like I was like, it was only like, I don't know, 80 deer like the first time. And I was like, I got hit harder than I thought.
Smoked with the HD. Yeah.
Right. And it's under contract to sell. And like these guys know this. They hired him.
Yep.
They were the ones that wanted it.
Yep.
They're just like, we just want a baseline. We
But
don't
then
care
the
if there's no
second
deer. Time, like 75
almost
more
doubled
deer.
them. Yeah.
But I just think if I'm the neighbor, like, man,
I think it's a good idea.
yeah, come to them with Jared. Hey, we're going to do 1,500 acres because here's what we need to know, guys. We need to know there's 300 deer or there's 70.
Yep.
We need to know. And I think that would be the thing to kind of say, hey, that's why I'm asking what I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is predicated on what we have. And I like the idea even better of doing like quarterly survey.
Yeah.
So that the guy was like, oh, it's the winter. They all go to the neighbor with the standing corn. Cool deal. We're going to do 4 of these.
Yeah.
Right. In November, how many deer do we have?
And are you asking them to pay, or are you just saying, hey, I'll cover it, just let me
see if they will? But I honestly, for me, what
just
was
more of a
$2
like
an acre?
Like, yeah, it's
dude,
no brainer.
I'll pay $3,000 to survey our 1,500 acres together, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
to know.
Yeah,
'Cause
that is
the
one way to
baseline.
do something together. If they're interested in that, it's kind of cool.
Well, that's a good gathering thing. Not that I
That's
had
what
my
I
neighbors
mean,
gather,
just-
but like, hey, Madison or whoever is coming, come hang out, watch it. We're gonna fly everything. It's a good place to be like, you might see a buck, like, oh, who's that? And somebody says, oh, I know that deer. He's
I
on my
always
place all
wondered
the
where he
time.
was. Right.
Yeah.
Or the neighbor, dude, you got 80 deer and I have like 7.
Oh, it was cool as hell.
You clearly have like yours is the place in the late season or whatever that is.
We
I think it's a
flew
good.
the week before Ohio gun season, and it wasn't perfect. It was sunny and it was warmer. But we watched this guy at 11:30 eating acorns across the ridge, right? And I'm like, I didn't think he'd be over there. And then there's a 4-year-old 10 that's in the mid 50s was dogging a doe 150 yards from him, and I'm like, how long until this guy comes and kicks his ass? Because I
And?
knew it was coming.
Did you see it?
We watched it for a little bit, and then I was like, nah, just keep moving on. Like, there is a bit of me that feels dirty watching
It
him.
is. It's
Right. Not that I was like about to go hunt him. I didn't even take my bow, to the farm. But I know that, and again, it's legal, so I'm not going to criticize people. In fact, I think it's Indiana that just prosecuted somebody really hard for doing it. But I also read some of the comments, and I'm like, ugh. There's a lot of people who are like, I don't care, it's legal, do it.
Yeah.
In Ohio and other places,
Yeah,
So-
I'm actively wrestling. I don't own one. Sure, everyone's disclosure. Mike.
I did own one. I sold it.
Mike Yoder and I, we're talking, and I'm just like, if you can give me net 90 on it, like I'd probably do it right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Like it's
I
just
jumped
not
in.
something.
I jumped in both feet as soon as they came up for sale. I bought it from Yoder, and I'm like, this will be cool. And then I just never really had time to use it, so I just sold it.
Yeah, I wrestle with it, but I do think from the management side, it's really
great
interesting.
for that.
Can you use that same drone for is it the same drone that can do ag spraying?
No.
Nope.
They're totally separate.
Totally
No, and it's
different.
not even great for photography. That was my main.
No, it's trash.
because I have a
for that.
Mavic 4 Pro now.
Way better.
Well, and that's what I was hoping. I'm like, man, I'll just do the thermal if it'll do. Both,
Not
but
even close.
It's not. It's
No,
not the
they're-
same lens system. It's just not the same architecture.
If they could overlap,
Your
I would
spraying
consider it.
ones are like 45 to 50 grand.
and they're giant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
monster.
they
He was pretty fair on
1,000%
the
can
price, by
hold
the way.
you.
The $650 is what he charged me to spray 12 acres.
I saw that.
No
I was going to
brainer.
ask you about that,
Yeah.
No brainer.
dude. That's
What were you gonna ask me?
about just the
Just
drone
how it went?
spray,
I wasn't.
yeah.
I missed it. I wasn't
Well,
able
it
to
looked
be
really
there.
cold and kind of dreary. So I was just interested.
It
What
was
are you?
Perfect. It was perfect. I was
What were you spraying?
cool season grass like fescue.
Gly and crop oil.
So is Foxtail a cool season?
No.
Worm. Okay.
It's a.
Yeah,
I was going to say it's
it's
what starts first.
Is it
in-
considered a? No.
I think
no.
it's considered a worm.
I would say warm because I don't think it really.
Because you could
starts doing
spray
its
right
thing till-
now, and foxtail
You're not
will
gonna
still
kill foxtail.
explode.
You're right. Yeah, because Quinn Clorac. I was thinking of Switch
Yes.
and
Yep.
I
Quinn
had a
Clorac.
Foxtail outbreak and
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much anytime I plant switch, I grow foxtail.
So right now,
What were you spraying?
And every
Say
year,
that again.
so I was trying to kill fescue out of a clear cut, right? So, like long term, I want that to be dense, 4B, like woody browse habitat. So
Rabbit cover.
Yeah,
rabbit cover, essentially. So like,
just for rabbits.
Yes.
yeah. Well, and so here I'm trying to say kind of two things at once. So like every year, I mark my calendar for like March 15th to April 15th as your opportunity, I think, to kill cool season grasses out of warm season grass stands. This is not a warm season grass stand, but I'm applying the same methodology to try to promote broadleafs that will grow later in the season and also just kill out what I know to be the most invasive there in our whole Ohio farm, which is like fescue and cool season grasses. So I sprayed it with
What was your cocktail? Yeah.
just Gly, 2 quarts per acre, and a crop oil, like a quart per 100 gallons.
Do you care to say who did this? I mean, is this a
Yeah,
testing?
his name's
relationship?
Cameron. He sent me his.
I mean, these guys are kind of popping up. When I had Mike on the podcast and he was telling me about this business, I'm like, dude, I'm too late.
I got it from Mike. No. I got it from Madison. Recommended this guy. His name's Cameron Hirschberger is who came and did that for us. Cam's Drone Service out of Worcester, Ohio.
Cool.
I think that's probably one of the best advancements in wildlife management that we've seen in a decade.
There would be no way to spray this clear cut other than a backpack sprayer.
Well, look
There's
how
top
efficient
down
it is.
everywhere. He did it. He knocked out in 2 hours. I called my dad because I was bummed to not be there to see it, but our business was cranking and I had to be here. And so I called Dad. I said, "Can you just supervise? Here's the chemical." And he's like, he sends me a picture of 2,4-D on the porch. He's like, "Is this crop oil?" I'm like,
No.
Oh man.
No. Don't do that.
So, but between the two of them, I think there was enough. They understood how to get it done.
So who shot the video?
So
that
he
you
shot up with this
posted?
thing.
Your dad?
Dad.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Let's go, Dad.
I think it's that's how, not all, like obviously you still have your big sprayers for ag, but I know that Madison's doing a lot of acreage on the ag side with drones now.
Can you just, to me, the spraying herbicide part is exciting, but what's really exciting to me is the overseeding.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, because
we're going to do that later.
If you get a nice corn plot in the fall, like it's great, but you got to walk through like this.
Yeah, good luck. And then my arms are just tore to shit.
So
Dude.
Check this out. Here's the long-term plan with this. So it was an older clear cut. They were going to put solar. I'm sorry, Jeremy. I know you've heard this 10 times, but
no, I haven't.
This is
First time.
They were going to put solar panels in this section of timber, and also
which is dead, by the way. Like that deal is gone, dead,
I was
no
getting
more.
ready to say totally reasonable.
It was over.
That's
before
a great management strategy.
It was over before it was signed. Yeah.
I can't create bedding, so we're going to go with solar. But go ahead.
You're paying like
stupid money.
$1,500 an acre for
2,500
40
an acre
years.
In Meg's, a guy got right down by the river where you cross.
Yeah.
There's a giant solar farm right there.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Giant. Either 2,500 or 3,000 an acre.
It's
Wow.
crazy. It's enough money.
And
that
everybody's
it's
complaining. That dude's $4 million a year or something crazy.
crazy.
Cool.
Crazy.
Damn.
So, anyways, that's dead. But when they were looking at that, they went in and essentially clear cut this little pocket of timber. It's like 12 acres. And when I say clear cut, they took the valuable trees out, anything that had any value, and everything else they left. So there was probably 50 to 100 trees, something like that.
So like a classic high grade.
Yeah, but very aggressive, like as aggressive as you could be, and there was just like some trees standing for some reason. So
sounds like an average cut far, with an unmanaged average cut. But
yeah. So it was like that for 5 years.
Oh yeah.
5-6 years maybe.
And in a normal case, because you're old cattle pasture, in a normal place, like if we did it in Meg's, like it would be rabbit cover by now. It'd look awesome.
Yep.
His is just cool season.
I mean, it looked like 2 ag fields between where you were spraying.
Pretty close.
What do you mean?
Like the video
you've got ag fields kind of catty corner.
Yeah,
to
ag on northwest and south.
Yep.
Of this clear cut. East is timber.
I mean, it seems like amazing island or peninsula that you were going to build.
It's going to be sweet. Yeah. So
what's the GPS? Okay.
I'll show you. I will show you.
Most of the listeners know where it's at.
So it's funny because right outside of that, like every farm that's sold, like in the past couple months or a year or so, has pictures of Dagger whose sheds that I have, because he was just like, he'd stand out by the road every day. He's like 163 inch, and it was soybeans surrounding it. It was like the best spot ever to see him. So everybody's like, "Oh, did you see his deer? See his deer?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a 4-year-old."
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Well, and what was, it's like, and I get, people see big deer, whatever, they want to rave about it, but I'm like, I don't want to shoot this deer. Like, he's a 4-year-old deer. Anyways, what we did, or what the plan is here, we went in and cut the rest of the trees down, with the exception of like 10 or 15 oaks that just, they are going to produce mass someday.
Yeah.
There's no reason to cut them. We went and sprayed recently for the cool season. So the time of year is what's important on that. Just hit it with Gly. 3 weeks to a month from now, in between now and then, I'm going to put a fire break on the east side of it, either with a drum mulcher or I'll have some sort of skid steer. We're going to clear a hard line on the east side. We're going to burn it off. Probably 2-3 weeks later, I think I'm going to, and at the same time, no, I haven't figured.
I didn't realize Gly would work this early.
It will.
Isn't everything mostly dormant right now, though?
No, all your cool seasons are growing pretty hard.
They're ripping.
So you got to wait on this warm, though.
The key, that's what I was going to say.
Well, those days, it was like 67.
Which
I know
is
it looked
perfect.
clear. I know it looked cold and dreary in the video.
Dreary.
It was the morning. It was like 8 a.m. That day, it was like 75, 80 degrees.
Even
that helped for sure.
Even though they're cool seasons, right? If that temperature drops below 50, the uptake of that Gly is really low.
Yeah.
And so, like, number one, like, you wouldn't want to spray early in the morning or late in the evening necessarily, especially late in the evening. Early in the morning's okay because it's going to heat up. But late in the evening going into night, you don't want to do that. And then, so you just need to get that temperature up, and those cool seasons are going to uptake really fast. And the best part is most of your other stuff is completely dormant. Like, it's all your native warm seasons.
Right.
Most of the forbs are. Some of your woody browse, like on a glide standpoint, if it doesn't have leaf exposure, it's not going to really hurt it. Like if you sprayed an Amazapir or something, that's going to nuke all your woody browse.
It's the best thing you can do for like a CRP or a switchgrass stand is spray it with glyphosate between March 15th and April 15th. Because the thing that's holding it back that nobody realizes is the cool season grasses. People want to burn it and all this. Dude, burning it promotes those cool season grasses.
That lights a fire on it.
Yep. It just opens up sunlight for that to take off because it's going to beat them to the. We sprayed, and people know this, but we sprayed. I would say it's 15 or 20 acres of our largest CRP field in Illinois last year. And we did it, I think it was early April when they did it. And then the rest of it we didn't hit because we're like, I don't really know what's going to happen. That was the most unbelievable CRP field this fall that I'd ever seen.
Night and day.
Compared to where we didn't spray, suffocated with cool season. Still looks good, like in theory, like 4 or 5 feet tall, but we're talking 6 to 7 feet beautiful CRP where we sprayed.
We'll have to dive into that either online or offline, but I've got a lot to learn there. I haven't done a lot of CRP. West Virginia, we don't have a lot of CRP going on, so yeah.
No, PCP is what you're thinking
right,
of.
Yeah, LSD mostly.
Yeah.
When you said we sprayed a lot of methamphetamines.
Yeah, methamphenemines, that's what you're thinking. Hey, not to be confused.
You have to have this quote. I'll never forget this. When I used to flip houses, of course, I had all these contractors, and, the standard was pretty low, but one of my favorite electricians, I'll never forget this. He said, my wife came up with this term. This is in Charleston, West Virginia. I will not repeat his name, but he said, my wife came up with this term, all these people that are coming here, these contractors, they don't have a license, they don't have a green card, they don't have anything. He said, we call them Mexican Americans.
That's perfect.
The Mexican Americans.
Perfect. Yeah.
Well, so to wrap that up, we're gonna burn it off, and then probably 2 to 3 weeks later, I expect those cool seasons to spring right back up, even though we've already sprayed them. That's what's going to come back. I'm going to have Cameron back out, and we're going to spray with clethodim at that point. So we'll be well into the growing season of crop oil and clethodim, and I'll have him broadcast a CRP mix the same day.
Let's go.
So we'll have some annuals, we'll have some switchgrass, we'll have all that kind of good stuff.
And you're only killing that second one. The clethodim is cool season grasses, right? Like all of your forbs will be popping at that time, but that clethodim will not affect them.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So we'll get that all going, and then next year we're going to do a tree planting into it. So we're going to double bar 1,500 trees into 1,200 acres.
That's awesome.
12 acres.
So the listeners probably will have this question, and I had to learn this the hard way of finally listening to someone else. Glyphosate is a foliar killer, so he can overseed right after that or prior.
Yep.
That plant has to be germinated and have a leaf, correct?
Yeah, and the gly has to have on contact with it. Could be a stem too.
So you do want to overseed after the gly is sprayed so it dries.
But at that point, I'm going to spray clethodim, not glyphosate.
Okay.
And honestly, it doesn't matter. Like even if you put the seed down and then glide, still doesn't matter. Okay. It's not going to kill it. Okay. It's not going to kill the seed because there's no germination.
Right.
There you go. You guys heard it first. I get that question a lot. And it's intimidating where people think,
oh, yeah,
when do I spray? And how can I seed the same day? I thought I have to wait 2 weeks. It's like, no. I literally spray and drill.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I love the drone thing, man, especially because I've had my fair share of huffing of glyphosate, and I'm kind of done with that.
I'm really done. I'm really done with it. I'm worried about it.
Yeah.
I'm not into like the fear mongering stuff.
No, but for sure it's not good.
Can't be good. No. Well, all the stuff they're saying that it's in food, and now they're linking this food to cancer causing. It's
I
did a lot of dating of glyphosate during my life.
Yeah.
So
I haven't straight drank it, but definitely taken a few hits to the face.
Oh yeah. Feel that nice wind shift.
The wind shift gets you. Yeah.
Even in a cab tractor. I have a cab tractor, and I think where they don't have the blend door, I mean, you come in and it comes in. You can just smell it in the air. It just
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's the plan with that clear cut. Why did that come up?
There we went. I don't know. This is
we were
talking
about the drones.
Yeah,
the drone stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Where
it's like 40. I mean, if you were buying one, it's like 45 to 50,000 just for the drone, let alone the setup with the pump and the water tank and all that. I think 110 for the full unit. Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Yoder.
Mikey Yoder.
I'm sure he's not making any money on those. So. Right, Mike?
Right.
That's amazing. I love it. I love business.
What an entrepreneur on ex-Amishman. So like what an evolution.
So the thing that he said that I just love everyone's business journey, but he said on that the drone spraying deal, he took a contract to do it. Didn't have any of the stuff.
Yeah.
Just said yes to some guy asking for help. does the job for like, Mike, correct us, but 7 to 12 weeks out of town, daylight to dark. Like literally says that's what I did.
Was that the Georgia or Indiana one?
Maybe he made 110 grand or whatever to do it.
Yep.
And started in. So listeners, how many would do that? Like, oh, if I had that money, dude, didn't take a 7-week contract that you don't have the stuff for.
I'll give a lot of the listeners on here credit. Like we get, and you know, whether it's because they have listened to us for 300 episodes plus or not, like there are definitely a lot of people that are trying to think outside the box of how to make an additional income, because they know, like at the end of the day, the three of us sitting at this table, it's multiple revenue streams,
and it's all secondary. What we're talking about, this is all secondary, fun. This is not your livelihood.
Yeah, and so think about how you can do it. I mean, I don't know the economics of it. You know, maybe Madison at some point will let us in, but like, you know, these guys that are flying drone deer recovery type stuff, sure, it's taking a lot of time and it's travel and it's during the season, but I would assume there's good money to be made there.
It has to be. And they're all in a Tacoma. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, not even a Tundra.
I don't want the hours. I don't want the hours of it.
Well, yeah, no. Yeah, and again, if you have family and stuff like that, like that's what I tell Madison all the time. I'm like, dude, that's a grind with what you're doing right now.
Yeah. When I'm in bed at 9 and you need to, like, it's got to be a really big deal.
Yeah, I'm in bed at 9.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. It's cool, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
cool.
I'm sure just because, like, I mean, think about the times of being out there and just being with someone when you recover a big buck. It's like,
sure,
you're jacked up about
100%.
it. But yeah, that's tough hours. That's tough job.
Yeah, it's kind of like somebody else's dog. It's like you think your dog's great, but like somebody else's dog, it's like you can recover your own deer.
Well, and I mean, we've all had it happen, but you go on the recovery and it's not dead, or now you got to go back. Now you go again. Now you go again.
I think the idea of it is cool. I'll bet you there was a big influx of like drone operators, but then they missed out on their whole hunting season, and they're like, oh, this is kind of sucks.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it is.
That's why I'm grateful for like a couple close ones that are willing to come.
It is a skill too, man. Just like whether you're flying for a survey and or recovery. Like again, I had a thermal drone. I flew it for an hour, and I'm like, I suck at this. And I was never a big video game guy, which I'm sure is a big thing for like being successful. I'm just like, I'm not good at this, so I sold it, and I lost money on the deal, but.
I luckily bought the insurance at Best Buy with my Mavic 3. So after 3 fully paid for crash replacements, they were like,
Jared
we
put
don't
one
do
in a
that
river.
anymore.
Yeah.
Just the river?
Yeah, that's the only one I lost. I lost one.
Yeah, JD put one in a tree.
I'm nice on a drone, though.
Put mine in a tree. I had to send it for repair.
Well, I've wrecked it more than once, but...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're not really living if
you're not living if you don't wreck
you gotta I was trying to get the shot,
right?
Get the angles.
Gotta get close.
Somebody said, "How do you get
tight.
that into the tree limbs?" I'm like, "Have you ever seen how wide a field is? Not being in the back corner, you have to be in the back corner.
Anytime you fly that entry into the field,
right?
And splitting hairs.
There's
man.
a limb.
Yeah, splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler, let's back it up. And we didn't really give you the opportunity in the beginning. I mean, you did a little bit, but like, what is your business called, and what is the nature
What's
of
this
it?
guy's
And
deal?
you talk to us about you're in real estate and you sell farms and stuff like that. Why don't you just give us a brief on that?
Yep, I appreciate that. So I am Legacy Acres Land Company. And when I formed Legacy Acres Land Company in 23, I spent like 2 weeks trying to find a way to say legacy without saying legacy, because I recognize that's a word that's readily used, and I couldn't find a better way to say it. So I went with Legacy Acres Land Company. And for me, what I am passionate about is I buy and sell land. So I do, when I said earlier, we're not doing this for a living. Everything we're talking about from a management perspective, I don't do for a living. Technically, I sell land for a living. So I get to have all that fun on the land, but what we do is we go direct to seller. So I market direct to seller. I'm negotiating leads. We are in like 40 counties now in the state of Ohio that we're marketing and sending a lot of letters and working leads. Yep, we're nurturing a lot of leads in a lot of areas. I think it's what I'm best at. I love sales, and I've just taught my team kind of the art of. You guys are in sales and in real estate, and you get it. A lot of this stuff, and I say it on my podcast all the time, this stuff isn't quick. It's not quick. The process of nurturing is, and some of our biggest deals have been 9 months or 12 months of nurturing.
They nail to a refrigerator, and eventually they are like,
Yep. So we do a lot of direct to seller marketing.
Which, frankly, for the kinds of farms you're getting, it's like, that's not a lot.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like they might sell that farm one time in their lifetime.
100%. And I always try to tell my team, you have to recognize we do this every day, but they don't.
Right.
So we have to be full service. We have to hold their hand. We work with a title company that is, kind of our people. They're third party to us, but they know you're supposed to call the seller as soon as you get the contract. You are supposed to introduce yourself. You are supposed to give them your cell phone, like whatever it is to make sure that this is full service. So kind of backing up what I would say the generic version of what I do is I negotiate direct to seller, and we buy and sell land. We buy and sell usually large tracts of land. Right now, like probably 85% of my business is recreational land, like we talk about, hunting land that people are excited about shooting animals on. We have aspirational goals, and we've kind of teetered with, or tickled our feet in the water of what I would call like residential land, more your lot splits, things that are just building lots, those kinds of things, and also commercial land. So our goal for 26 is to become kind of a 3-tier company. And a lot of people don't even know any of this, but tier 2 is residential, tier 3 is commercial. Let's throw it out on the table, your farmland that's better suited, re-entitled to high density, whatever, and the farmer wants $30,000 an acre, and the only way to give him that is to entitle it. Correct. Yep. And we can talk through any of that, because I struggle with how do we win no matter what? You're going to make someone mad no matter what, but how do we continue to win? And so obviously I'm most excited about the recreational land, but typically when we buy a piece of recreational land, we're going to buy something that's unimproved. We're going to go in there and make an improvement plan to it that's specific to hunting. And I would say, Jared, I've heard you talk a lot on the podcast, and I intimately agree. The word turnkey is like way overused. It's like way oversexied, and I try not to use it. I'm sure you'll find social content out there that I've been guilty of saying it, because it's the easiest vernacular to say, farm, flip. But what we do, what I would pride ourselves in doing, is we take the first phase, the heavy lifting. Generally, we're trying to do that on a farm before we would sell it.
So describe what example of what that would look like.
To me, it's easiest said, all the things that are intimidating to someone who's never done them, which would be typically it's excavation, it's dozing food plots, it's creating access, it's looking at the farm and saying, hey, we've got a west access now. Let's talk about how do we get to the south and get to the east to enter? How do we go to the north if we cut a road here? How do we get a perimeter road like you've done?
Right.
We do those things. Where should a water hole be to keep the water on the ridge? Where can we get food sources? How do we get 5 to 10% of the total acreage in food? Where can we create bedding? Hey, spoiler alert, this may not age well over the next 2 years, but I haven't bought a farm to cut the timber and resell the farm as a farm setup. I can't say I would never do it, but what we see is I would cut that timber if it was to better improve the land's ceiling for hunting.
Sure.
Right? Not, hey, let's do a 16-inch cut on every white oak that exists here, rape it, and then send the farm back out as a flip. I won't do it. Okay. I want to earn my own pillow every night. So, like I can show you a couple farms we sold, and the guys ripped the timber right after they bought it from me. They paid for the farm cutting the timber. Cool. Not me though. You know what I mean? And I get crucified for it. They're just land flipper. But that's typically what we do. What I also do is I sell farms as is. So I've worked pretty hard to build what we call our VIP buyers list, and probably generic terms, but for me, what I like the most is the idea that guys like Jared and Jeremy come to me and say, hey, you just sent a farm out. We're on your VIP. You texted an email to us. It's in Meigs County. It's 250 acres. It's as is. It's a jungle. It's what we've been looking for. We want it as is. And I give them an as is price. And I also give them a turnkey price. And I also tell them this turnkey thing is this is a fluid term.
Yeah, loosey-goosey.
It can be you want 3 blinds, 2 plots, and me get the heck out of there. Awesome. It can be like you want a cabin site and you want the utilities brought in, and you want this, and you want a road that your wife's Honda Accord can go up to the cabin. Awesome. We will work hand in hand with our excavation crews and our subcontractors, and we will essentially project manage the improvement process. I am selling a farm as we speak to a guy in Muskingum County. He paid the as-is price for the farm. And I don't mark up. I currently don't mark up any of our improvement stuff. Like I'm going to round it to the nearest number, but like I make the money when I sell the dirt. So I don't mark up the improvements. If we have $40,000 in the farm, as far as excavation, blinds, feeders, water holes, whatever, generally speaking, I'm going to have a turnkey price pretty close to that.
Sure.
I'm making my money if you buy it from me as is.
Right.
So told the guy, I said, just buy it from me as is.
So it's not that you don't charge for that. Like you have to charge for that, but you build it into the turnkey price.
Correct.
Right? Which makes sense.
Yeah. And so I told this guy, hey, if you want to buy it, and this is all on my website, so it's not any hidden numbers, buy the farm at $499. It was like $549 for the turnkey. Buy it at $499. And what we're going to do is you're going to meet my excavation contractor here. We're all three going to meet. We're going to go through my plan. Here's what I currently want to do. And he's like, oh, I like that, but could we do this? And I want a shed over here. And could he help me bring the water line into the farm? And I want a better driveway than what you have. No offense to you. Cool. So we customized the improvement plan to him.
Which makes sense.
And he's having me oversee it all. He's like, I don't. So basically my Rolodex of connections, I am overseeing it, project managing it, but I'm selling the farm. And the thing that I think I get a ton of benefit from with this is we're in this like mutually beneficial relationship where I'm not getting you. I brought you an off-market farm. You're on the VIP list. I brought you a farm off-market, essentially. You're fighting with other VIPs. Let's not act stupid. You are. The list is, let's say, 1,000 people by now. You are fighting in that, but you're not fighting the general public.
Right.
You're fighting in there to say, hey, I want it first.
Yep.
And then I listen to you. But at that point, I mean, he's like, I just can't understand how he's like so thankful that he has the opportunity that I'm going to oversee the work. I have vetted all these connections. So now I have the Madison Rabers, the Matt Stewarts, the whomever that we trust, the Rich Hicksons.
Which I love Matt, by the way.
Love Matt. Matt Stewart.
Shout out to Matt.
Love Matt. Love Rich Hickson. You should meet Rich. He's a kind of another Matt, tagged out habitat specialist in Athens. Great dude. But they know how I work. So when you tell them you want a food plot, they're like, but what do you want? Like, no, I got you. I know what they want. And I do that. Then it's like this guy probably, timeline-wise, this Muskingum farm, he may not even own it before we start the work.
So there's a bit of a risk on that.
It is for him, but I'm like, you're paying the bills. So why would it be that way? Well, because he had a farm to sell. And I said, I don't want to make this contingent. I don't like contingencies, but I will do this with you if you'll close by May 1st, whether you've sold that farm or not. And we may start your improvements March 1st. And he was like, that's great. So if a guy's like, well, I'll put $35,000 into the improvements before I've even closed, like,
so that's almost like
that's
his hand money down. Yeah. Because I mean, he's not going to leave that on the table.
Correct. And then he's closing title search. Title search is all done. Title policy's back. Everything's worked through, but he would have never thought to put a water hole where I did. He would have never thought to make the access ditch up to the blind.
So you are putting some effort into the thought process of, again, not turnkey in it, but strategically improving the property.
100%.
It just depends on whether they're actually going to go through and hire your sub crew to do it, or they're just taking it raw and do whatever they want.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's great. I'll be here to consult with you for however long I can. Don't call me every night and ask me a silly question, but I'm going to be here and available. If you buy it from me as is, I'm not going anywhere.
The Hunter Podcast is brought to you by Predator Camo.
Man, this one feels good, right? I know people have been looking at this picture over your shoulder for a while now. I think that was 2018, but we just, over the last, how many years, keep coming back to Predator Camo because it's been so damn good for us.
No doubt. I think we bought our first set off of Jen at the Archer Trade Show almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Jen's still with the company, and the patterns have, only improved since then. They actually were recently acquired within the past couple of years. We've had a chance this past year to go and meet with new ownership, talk about redesigning a lot of the old lines, plans for new patterns, all of the above. So really excited about what's to come, not only this coming year, but in years to come. There's a lot of good stuff coming from Predator.
Yeah, and I mean, for us, it's always been going back to that breakup pattern, right? That's the historic look, whether you're talking about the spring greens or brown deceptions or fall grays. Yeah. I mean, that breakup is really what's been so powerful for us in a tree stand. And right now, they're letting anyone use the code HUNTER on the Predator Camo website and get 20% off any of the lines, including all the new stuff that dropped here in July.
Be the Predator.
Can I put you on the spot?
100%.
I know I can. It's a rhetorical question, Farley. So most people listening to this would say, all right, Tyler, well, what's the strategic advantage of me buying a property from you versus like waiting to get a deal on the market, right? Because that has been, I would say, the knock, but whether it's you or Bobby or whoever, right, is like, well, I don't want to buy from these guys because I'm going to wait till a property comes on the market from whoever, Arrowhead, Whitetail, doesn't matter. List goes on. Kaufman.
Buckeye Land Sales.
Exactly.
And I'm friends with all these guys, so it doesn't bother me.
So it comes on market from there, and like I'm gonna get that for a better deal than buying this, managed, flipped, whatever you want to call it, farm from you.
Yep, it's a great question. So number one, and I'm not going to throw any one individual realtor under the bus, but you're not going to get a great deal from them. They're going to stretch the market as much as they can because they represent the seller. They don't represent
Which makes
you.
sense.
So, and that's okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I would tend to say, and I think if we would take the historic average of what I've sold my properties for, there was a guy I was working with out of Highland County, southwestern Ohio, for a long time. And, the thing he kept saying that he appreciated about me was, when I sell at Turnkey, I'm selling it at the market rate at Turnkey. And I heard Bobby Kendall say this on your podcast a while back, and I really resonate with this. I wish we could ask more because we do all this work. I wish we could ask $400 more an acre and it would just be worth it, or $1,000 an acre. I'm not. I'm worth what the retail market rate is for the farm. So typically, and this is going to be my claim, typically my turnkey price is right at the market rate.
Mm-hmm.
My VIP price is you're going to get a better deal.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it an advantage to buy from me versus another agent is because, or an agent. And by the way, I want to continue to emphasize, I like agents. This is no slight to any of them.
No.
I've worked direct to seller. So I've brought a product to the market that's not on the market.
Yep.
I've negotiated direct to seller. Typically, I'm negotiating personal property like crazy. It's weird, but they just want to sell everything. So do you want to side by side with the farm?
Yep.
Cool. It's left there. No personal
So
property.
you think you're getting a deal on those purchases?
I know I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
And here's
and I'm going to charge them, let's say 75% of retail at the as is. I'll give you a great example. We just bought 240 acres in Megs. I'll put it out after yours, so you have the first run to the market.
I'm still kicking mine around.
Well, this is not near the quality of yours. This thing has no minerals. They were previously reserved.
Yep.
It was clear cut. It's steep.
Yep.
So 3 negatives.
Okay.
It has a well, it has a septic, it has a trailer on it. These people lived in the trailer. It's clean.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
240 acres. Okay. The trailer could be moved off in a weekend and you could have a nice cabin. It's on the front of the property. It's there. I'm going to sell that for $2,700 an acre to my VIP buyers.
Yep.
Right now, anybody listening,
that's a deal.
It's coming. Okay. I'm going to sell it turnkey for like $2,950 an acre.
Yep. Yeah.
So if I promise, Kaufman, Buckeye, whomever comes there, they're
not selling it
touching
for that.
it for that.
No,
They're
it'll be 4.
Right. It's not worth 4. That's my own brain says, I'm not here to get you. I want you to come back to me in 10 years. I'll sell the farm I sold you because you want a bigger one. I'm not here to get you. I want to win for decades. I don't want to just take your money.
There is something deeply satisfying about not seeing real estate agents get what they're asking for properties.
100%.
I loved it.
I do think that there are some that are call it remotely fair. Sure. Like they're fair.
Sure.
Like
and some of them are worth what they ask. It's cool.
Sure.
Some of them are
and I don't blame them for trying to, drive the market up, right? I mean, they're trying to get the most money for their seller. Greedily, they're also trying to get the most money for them, right? That's part of the commission structure deal. But where it burns me, and frankly, it hurts, people trying to sell their properties down the road, is when they sell a piece of shit for over market.
Yep.
And then that kind of...
You almost can't blame agents for that too, but I hate that. I
don't like it.
I hate seeing people who don't know what they're doing or what they're buying come in and overpay for something.
Well, and we just came out. I mean,
and there are plenty of people out there.
There's some agents that I will not say names, but they do not know hunting, and they're like, beautiful hunting tract. You guys talked about beautiful hunting tract. Dude, you wouldn't know a hunting tract if it hit you.
No, it's a piece of land.
You don't know.
Yeah,
it's a terrible hunting tract.
Yeah,
whatever the wording is, but they will sell it,
and the buyers don't know. I mean, dude, it's borderline like false. I mean, it's completely it's completely subjective. So there's no way to
your point earlier. Like, if you're not from the area, like I'm a Western Pennsylvania guy. I did my research. I highlighted several counties, Meigs being one of them, as a top tier buck county and number harvest county in the state of Ohio. That's why I ended up buying there. And also from a price per acre standpoint, right? I didn't want to buy $7,000 an acre ground by Jared. I was like, that's out of my budget.
You. We just don't love you.
I didn't want to buy that. So when I did that, right, I was just cruising the market. I bought that in 2021. So that's at the heat of dude, people from Columbus are calling in offers over the phone, over ask, not even sight unseen. Right, I mean, it's a complete madhouse. Fortunately, and here's the deal, and this I won't mention the agent because it's not necessarily his fault or how it went. But when my 130 got listed, the name that was listed with it was Jake Hofer. Well, Jake's not from Ohio. Jake's from Illinois, and so I saw it get listed, and this is November 5th. So my brain is, I'm in the rut, right? I'm peeing on my ankles at this point. So I see that listed. I see Jake's name. I call Jake, and I'm like, hey, dude, I've been looking in Ohio. I see this is listed, but it's your name. He's like, yeah, main office must have messed it up. It's on so-and-so's. I'll give you their number. I'll connect you, right? Boom, Jake, because we obviously know Jake, connects me with him. I say, hey, man, saw this listed. Called Jake. It's really your listing. I'll be there tomorrow, first thing in the morning, to see this thing. Is that cool? He's like, yeah, that's fine. No problem. He's like, you'll for sure get to see it. I won't take any offers till you see it.
Cool.
So, which I love.
Right.
That's a good agent, man.
That is a relationship.
That's a relationship building. Yep. And honestly, I'm coming in. I said, cool. I'm not represented, so it's dual commission for you.
Yeah. Hey, and I tell agents.
Perks for him, right?
I tell any agent, bring me something. I'll let you have the commission.
Perk for them, man, to make that happen.
Care,
so I walk it, and funny enough, I was had my hat. I was sending you pictures, and Ben Rogers. I'm like, dude, I don't know. This is a big white oak. I don't know anything about
get
timber.
My arms around them.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the timber. And again, it's November. There's scrapes. I'm rutting. Like, I walk off there. I call the guy, and I said, hey, here's my offer. It was under list. He had 14 other people called him, but the seller took my offer.
Yep.
Just like that. I lucked out.
Yeah.
Because guaranteed somebody would have paid over what I bought.
Bad agent. Didn't know what he's doing.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And that because who do they represent?
Well, it was his first deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he underrepresented the seller. There you go.
Now, the seller given was happy.
Sure.
With the situation,
and,
as was I.
And we have to assume he presented all offers, or she, or whomever they presented.
Well, there was only
offers.
one, and it was mine.
Well, I thought you said there's a bunch of offers.
Well, there's a bunch of people who wanted to put an offer in, but I was the only one that.
So there's your tip, everybody listening. Put pen to paper.
Yeah, and as a seller, use an experienced agent.
Yeah. No, I'm sure. Like again,
Jared, what's your number?
Yeah.
And again, and I don't know how many of these happen anymore. Maybe on the direct side, but like that ended up having a lot of timber on it to cut.
I've heard your story, dude. It's amazing.
That was my home run hit that has set me in a trajectory to buy other farms.
Me and Jared will buy your Meg's farm for $2,200 an acre.
It's not for sale for $2,200.
Okay.
It is for sale for $3,750, which I think is reasonable.
Highway robbery.
It's reasonable.
Gosh.
Right?
These
classic 2026 seller.
These jerks. You're terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Is that high for that area?
No,
are you in that area?
Murdered all the time.
You're right in that area. What do you see happen? Do you see either one of you?
I would like to go to your farm before you list it. Okay. I just want to see it because I may have, and I'm not touting, but I may have a VIP buyer that wants it.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, it's definitely not high. Yeah,
that's right there.
There's a lot of fours now.
I talked to a guy on the way here who's got a 40-acre farm in Meg's. He's gonna flip. He's setting it up. He's doing his work. Mm-hmm. He's going to offer it at $5 to $55 an acre, and he'll probably get it.
Wow,
you think so?
And mine's big, right?
Here's why: 40 acres.
40 acres,
dude.
Yeah,
40 is like
mine's 230.
Everybody just 40. Yeah.
And I do have a cabin on it, which is nice too. You know, and we've put a lot of money into that thing. So yeah, I'm asking basically $900 for everything, including the cabin, which I think is a fair
How many
deal.
acres?
230.
Okay,
it's a big one.
You will 1,000% get that.
And it'll have a giant buck on it this year.
You might delete that part.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm about to put a 187 on the market there that I sold in 23 for $725, and that's cheap, and it doesn't have a house or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm asking 50 for the cabin, which I put full HVAC in, all new well pump, all new lines, built in 3 bedrooms. Like we've done a lot of work to it, and
let me go see it with you. I don't have to. You don't have to be there. I want to go see it, and then let me just see what I think. But I don't know if I derailed us, but that's kind of.
But no, I think that's
what I do.
So I asked that because those are the things that I hear. One, and I think if I have an argument against anyone that let's say picks on you or Bobby or whoever,
or you can even say does what I do.
No. Even on Jared or I, just how we do business is that. People get mad when you, quote, get a deal, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yep.
Like the entire United States, like economic policy
capitalism.
Is on get a deal.
I paid a wholesaler $75,000 for 15 acres, more than he paid, to where I'm building my barn as we speak.
Yeah.
I didn't blink an eye.
Yeah.
I told it like he was going to go to the next guy. I'm like, dude, it's great. I'll do it. I don't care. You can't get hung up on what someone pays as long as it doesn't put you in a position. And this is what I take pride in. I've never put a landowner in a position to have negative equity, even through EHD or anything you want to say.
Yeah.
No owner have I ever put in a negative position, ever. And I have a piece because, we have a piece that we're, you have I have a 20-acre piece in Muskingum County that's crazy beautiful. Beautiful home site, dead end road, timber in the back, pond in the middle.
And that's like insane high per acreage, right?
It's 274.9 is what it's listed at right now, 275. I just paid $485,000 for 15 acres in Fairfield County to build a house on. So when people are like, it's Muskingum, it's crazy. Okay, it is, but go find it to build your forever home. Comp me. Go ahead. It's a unicorn. So I do have a few unicorn pieces where it's like, I don't know. I think it's worth this. Maybe it's not. But you know what I tell people? Make me an offer.
It's crazy, man.
Don't yell at me. Just put it on paper.
It's one of
Write me something.
The land game is, and again, it's just look at all the technology we have and who's involved in it and stuff. I mean, to first of all, to find a quote unquote deal in recreational land and name the state, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, whatever.
Yep.
Very hard to say you found a deal.
Look at this Muskingum piece I'm selling. I turned my phone off, but at $499.9, it has the minerals. It has timber that can be cut. It has 25 foot of frontage to get him to the road. There was an oil and gas lease on it at one point, so if he wants to go,
was potentially producing.
Yeah, he could go resurrect that and have free gas, have a cabin. He has the minerals. There's a lake on the back side of it that you could have amazing views. What is $499.9 divided by 77 acres? That's what he's getting. Well, so many people say it's too much. Well, their comps are everywhere for that. And Kaufman and everybody else. And by the way, I'm friends with some Kaufman people. So,
but that's what they're selling.
They're getting it. Yeah. So I'm like, why are okay, so you want me to sell for less? Well, all right. And I tried this one time. The guy that argues, well, why can't we get a deal if you got a deal? Awesome. I have an idea. I'm going to give you a deal. I'm going to put in there a deed restriction that you can never split it. You can never sell it for more than 20% annually than you paid or what, make up an algorithm. I'm going to put a deed restriction that you can never split this down. I'm going to say you can never put it in a trust. You can never comp it, or, you can never put any more mortgage debt on it than what you originally got. Like, make it up. All right, you buying it now? No, because you want the equity too.
You want the equity.
You want it too.
And if we pick on Muskingum for a while, and just because I'm not as familiar, I'm sure a lot of people aren't. Like, a lot of that pricing is getting pushed up because of the industry in the area, right? Like, isn't there
Amish?
In the Amish,
because they've gone south.
Because it's not pure
to them either.
It's not purely recreational driven.
Correct. Yeah, like I have one piece that's 58 acres. Like 35 of it's tillable. So everybody's like, "Oh, it's too much for hunting ground," because it's not hunting ground.
It's not hunting ground.
Like, run comps. It's 35 acres of tillable. Go lease it. Go put it in CRP. Build it's the most amazing canvas for a premium turnkey project farm. It's the most amazing canvas. If I sell the 20, there's a 20 on one side of the road and a 30 or a 58 on the other. If I would sell the 20, I would take the 58 and I would do to it what everybody hasn't seen. I would do it. I want one or the other to sell, and then I'll do it. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, $6 an acre, and it's mostly tillable. So it's just hard because.
How much land are you holding right now?
So we have a decent bid under contract to sell. So we're kind of in I always tell my team, like, I don't know why we do this. Yeah. We sell a bunch and then we have to buy a bunch and then we just sell a bunch. It's like, can we not make this a little more
where's
cyclical?
The balance?
Right.
Yeah.
But I probably have 1,500 to 2,000 acres in ownership in about 6 to 10 counties.
Yep.
From 20 acres to 250.
Yep. Is that your sweet spot in terms of what you're looking for?
We generally market. We're trying to mail we mail lots of letters. So there's your secret sauce.
I got one.
Yeah. Mine are handwritten though.
I know. I got it. I see
it.
Felt personal.
It is. You like my penmanship?
Yeah. There are hearts on it too. It's weird.
Right. Honestly, for us, our secret sauce is whatever people want to sell, but 20 acres is kind of that's my minimum. We do mail 5 acres to 19.99 acres.
In the right places.
Correct. Fairfield, Franklin, we'll mail in those. But our juice is 20 plus.
You said, those 40s are that's a highly desirable.
Yep.
Yeah.
80. I love like 20 to 80.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Succession, the TV show?
No, I don't think.
You guys have never seen Succession?
No.
Oh, dude.
Have you ever heard
What's
of
it on?
311?
I have. But
Now, yeah.
I can't believe you guys haven't seen it. You should definitely check that
Send
out.
me a link.
What's it on?
It's the one where the guy, you've seen the meme or whatever. He's like, if I don't get to do this, I might.
Oh
die.
yeah,
I might
yeah,
die.
yeah.
Oh, I've seen
That's
the
the
reel of
show.
that.
Is it like Netflix or something or Hulu or?
I don't know, but I've seen that reel. People
They
have sent
wrapped
that
it
to
up,
me.
so like now would be the time to watch because it's done. Like they did.
I can binge it.
They did 3 or 4 seasons or something, but he said basically they're all like super wealthy or whatever. And the one guy is like, he's the gag character, and he's like, well, my aunt so and so is gonna leave me with $5 million, so like I'm pretty much set. And they're all like, oh, dude, 5 is the worst. Like you're not rich enough to retire, but like not motivated enough to keep working, kind of thing. They're like, that's a hell, $5 million.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel not like
That's true, though.
from a stuck up standpoint. When we're talking about 20 and 40 acre farms, like don't get me wrong, like you got to start somewhere, but like, what am I gonna do with a 20 acre
I know.
farm? You know what I mean?
But
it's like
what's crazy though is, and this is the part that
I'm not putting that down.
No,
I'm just saying.
No, 100%. And I'll tell you guys honestly, some of the best money's been on the 20 to 80s.
Sure.
Like you talked about the Columbus buyers into mix.
Oh yeah.
I had a 22 acre tract in Gallia County last year, and it had a pond on it. And I didn't realize like what ponds do, but people just go
Freak out.
nuts.
Well, they're expensive to put in.
I cleaned it up, like mulched it, put some gravel in and a gate. Didn't touch it. Put it up for 160, 22 acres in Gallia. I had a guy literally drive from Dublin at 10:45 at night, met me at a McDonald's because he demanded I take a cash deposit. They were buying it. I met him at a McDonald's in my hometown to like.
That's right. I would have bought him a Big Mac.
Calm the Facebook. I mean, we just missed it.
Wow.
And I asked him, I said, so like, am I low? Like, this is weird. How many people? And he's like, oh yeah, you're low. 22 acres, 160 grand.
Well, and honestly, in Gallia, I would say that's fair, right? But it's from where they're at, right?
It is.
Like,
He's
I
can buy that. I can't buy that here.
I see
Like,
that in Kentucky
Columbus.
too. Like I'm an hour east of Lexington, which is not eastern Kentucky, but we're getting there. But I'm around a big lake, and there's highly desirable. Like I bought my stuff at like $1,600 an acre, and there's people from Lexington paying $3 to $4 all day long because they're like, dude, that's a no-brainer to have that here.
Yep.
And in their mind, it's like it's just an hour away, so it's still home.
And these guys wanted to have it, the avatar, Jared, the way I would say it is, I have to try to remind myself of the avatar. You and our avatar is the top 1%. Like we want all the acres, we want all the management, we want all the big bucks. Like we're the 1%. But the guys that are like, dude, we live in Columbus. It's congested as can be.
We just want to escape.
We literally want to ride 4-wheelers on public, and we're jacked. Like we saw a really big buck last year.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I have to remind
checked
myself.
all the boxes.
And I have to remind myself it's okay too.
That's the
That
majority
guy
of
is
your
okay.
buyers.
Right. And one of my realtor friends, we were having lunch, and he's like, that's the part you guys that are diehards are missing. Is like everyone's not a diehard, and you can still sell to them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this farm sucks. You can't make an improvement plan on this.
Yeah,
and
we're like,
dude's
oh,
I'll buy it.
this is West Access, and they're
Literally.
like, so
Well,
Literally.
and that's-
I've walked on farms. I'm like, I don't really think I can put this out under my name. And then dude's like, dude, I bought this farm. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
walked from
I
that
know.
farm.
yeah.
That is the problem with our strategy.
We
is
just think-
those people exist.
They
They're
do.
happy to pay. They're happy to, in our minds, overpay for because we're looking. We want the habitat
The
potential,
premium
the
one.
what to tack onto it.
There's
and
an analysis paralysis
There-
from us on that.
no,
and that we look
no,
at
no,
them.
no. They're
I
just
think we're
they're
right.
just willing to
They
pay
just
for
don't know
what.
yet.
Well, they don't.
They don't know what they don't know. You know the saying, you don't know what you
Doesn't
don't
mean
know.
that they're not going to kill a big buck on
It
it.
doesn't. And that's what I tell every
Oh.
buyer. I can't tell you that you
You don't
won't
think they
shoot a
will?
170 next year.
You don't think that they'll
I
kill
don't
a
know
big
that
buck
they
on
I'm
it?
won't.
just saying in general. I'm just saying it seems like there are plenty of people happy to, in my opinion, overpay for any or all of the above.
Is it overpaying?
Well, it's just, to me, that's the market. They're happy to pay.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
apparently
these
not.
dudes would
It's
list
the
that at
market,
199 tomorrow. They'd list it at 199. I mean, they openly told me like you're low. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Because, I mean, to the neighbors conversation we were having earlier, none of my farms, maybe Illinois we did a little bit, but let's say like my Ohio or Kentucky farm, none of them I even considered the neighbors.
Yep.
I looked at the farm, I looked at the price, and I was like, yes, no brainer. One was like the first step in cabin, but I didn't really even care. It was like woods, cabin, great, do it.
Yep.
The last one, I bought my bigger farm in Kentucky. I looked at the farm, I looked at the price, I looked at open ground, which is a very big rarity where I'm at. And I was like, I drove overnight and kind of did the same thing. Met the guy in the morning. Here's my money. Put it under contract, full price. I won't even negotiate. No brainer. And, he looked at me, he's like, you want to put in a lower? I'm like, nope, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Checks all my boxes. I don't know about the neighbors. At the time when I ran in, I'm like, oh, there's deer on here. I saw like $5 under 3 years old on the property all year, and it was 300 acres. Like, I walked into a situation that from a deer herd standpoint, was like, ugh, I didn't expect that. But from a potential standpoint, I'm like, I'll do the work. The price is right. No brainer.
Yeah, and the art of the smaller farm, to me, for anyone listening, the art of the smaller farm is to get on the train. I always say the land train has millions of carts attached to it, and it's
told
not
us that
moving.
Years ago.
It's not going to stop moving. You won't stop it.
Yep.
Get on a cart.
That's the only way you're going to slow it down.
If there's 10 acres you can buy, then buy it.
Yep.
Hold it. Let's take Javen Mullet. Javen, hope you're listening. Bought 7 or 10 acres in Tusk.
Yep.
5 years ago.
Yep.
Over doubled his money just last year.
Awesome.
Cheryl works for me. So
yep.
You guys did the American dream, made a lot of money on it, over doubled.
Yep.
Well, now he's buying another farm.
Roll it,
He's
right?
trading up. Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Then if you can't get in it, and this is to your point, we all want a 200, but if you can't afford a 200, then buy a 20 first.
Yep.
Buy a 20. Even if you think 160 was too much, hold it 2-3 years.
Yep.
Sell
roll
for
it.
200, that $40,000.
That is the way
you
to do
can
it.
do a lot with that.
And my comment is not to put down
I
smaller
know,
farms
I know,
at all.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's just that once you get on that cart, you're going to realize you want a bigger cart.
Dude, you're like, dude, the juice is in the acres.
Yeah.
And I have a 20 I lease in Illinois. It's the right 20. That's why I lease it. It's a funnel. I don't want to buy it because I'm like, I don't know what the upside is here. I'm going to pay retail for it. There's no upside. I don't want it because there's no upside to it. Yeah,
that makes sense.
But if that's what you can get started with, that's what I would get started with.
I mean, and not in
put a
obviously
pond on
a negative way, because
hey, seriously, no joke. It's a big thought
100%.
process. of
Dude,
mine.
you talk to
That's
Brackett and
Bracket's
Illinois,
go-to,
that's his
dude.
whole thing. I could put a
Dude.
pond on this.
Cut all the trees, put a pond.
That's his sole criteria for buying a property. I could put a pond
I
on
could
it.
put a
But
pond
go
on
back to, because I haven't done this. Buyers, listen, it's experimental. I know what my guy charges to do those. Right, to do
Ponds?
them right. Yeah, it's
Oh yeah,
not
dude,
cheap.
it's not cheap.
So when you think of something that's intimidating to people, intimidating to do as an improvement, dude, if they don't know how to do a pond, they'd love to see one. They don't know how to do it. They won't do it.
I mean, I put one.
They won't.
Johnny Sore put one in on my house. I think, and Johnny can correct me. I think I ended up at like 20 or 21,000 for a pond, and it's quarter acre.
Right. So
I mean, it's everything I've ever wanted in my
think
backyard.
about us
but
doing it, us do the work, and then they just get to finance it.
Yeah.
21,000 to their payments, $30
Nothing.
a month.
Nothing.
It's 21 G's to us and managing it.
Yeah.
So I do think there is an argument to be made of that is the intimidation factor that I try to look at to say, guys are like, I've always wanted redneck blinds. Like, well, you got 4 on here now. I set them.
And you just roll it all in.
And they're like, dude, we would have never done that.
See, that's a big one. Yeah, and I mean, to the cost standpoint, like this is what I was going to say about Illinois. And again, like we have an awesome, 2 awesome farms now out there. But I mean, you have to look at it, and it's like, especially when you're considering the 20% down, right? That's the biggest hurdle for most of these people listening to this is like, whether it's a 40 or 100, it's like that 20% is substantial.
Yep. And it's at least that. It's 20 to 30.
Yeah. And then to your point about the lease thing, it's like, man, and we've had the conversation. I'm like, we're spending a lot of money on mortgages and unfortunately interest in Illinois. It's like,
even at decent rates.
At decent rates,
Right.
I'm like, man, should I just be leasing? Should I actually own out there? Like, I don't know. It's something I wrestle with all the time.
I got a thought strategy I want to make sure we cover. I just appreciate being able to be here with you guys, because when I heard you guys talking about that, maybe it was with Bobby or somebody else, but you were really deep into kind of talk track of how to buy land or how to structure it. I think the one, if we can go here, I like secret sauce, but one of the secret sauces to me is if you can ever get a seller. We obviously talk about owner financing, and we can talk about that. I love creative financing. I love all that. I've done a lot of creative deals. But the one that I think can apply so well to farms that if, let's say you're going to purchase it conventionally, and we're all talking about the 20% down. You ever thought about asking the seller to carry a second at 20% down? Because
Talk us through that.
Well, think about it this way. If you're going to, let's just make up a farm, $400,000. Let's just make up a farm that's $400,000. And
I need 80 grand.
Okay. Well, the seller, he didn't need all the money, but he wants fair price.
Yep.
So we're going to get $400,000. That's what we're going to give on the purchase.
Yep.
He's going to get $320 up front from your farm credit,
Yep.
whomever.
Yep. Whoever.
He's going to get $320 up front. We're just asking him to carry 80 on a second.
Like a legit second or like an owner second?
Yes.
but it doesn't matter.
So he's just asking the seller to finance his down payment to
on a second lien position.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: you are asking the seller. We're getting
to
way
take a
into the
second
weeds
position.
to subordinate.
Yeah, so there's a trust factor. Are you good with the money? You going to default? Whatever.
But he does have a lien on the property, right?
And especially if it's a property, let's say that's sat for a while, and you're willing to, non-negotiate. Hey, it's $400,000. I'll give you the full price, but
I'm asking you to carry second. Or let's get even juicier. Let's get even more funner.
Or you can split that anyway, too. They
That's
could
what I'm
cover your
getting ready to
80,
say.
or they could
50-50.
just 50-50. Exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah.
50-50.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that this is where I think people get hung up is like, well, how is the seller giving you $80,000? The seller's not giving $80,000.
Yeah.
They're substituting the farm as collateral.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're giving them a mortgage as form of payment.
That's right.
Yep.
So
which makes sense.
People would do this in houses all the time. Like I would hear of guys doing creative finance deals, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And the other day I was just thinking, why don't I do this on land? All I'm asking them to do is
that is
carry
the
a
hurdle,
second.
right?
Yeah, but to most sellers, you get $320,000 down. Like I'm probably good.
I got to pee real quick.
I'm probably okay with $320,000 down.
Me too. Let's take a break. I got to pee
Let's
also.
go. We'll take a break.
Hunter Podcast is brought to you by Lone Wolf Custom Gear.
Man, those Lone Wolf stands have become such a cornerstone of our equipment over, recently, but I mean, also we've been using these stands for a long time, even the original Lone Wolves. They're all built right here in the United States. The lines just keep getting better and better. Cody and Andre and the whole team just keep innovating and introducing new stuff into the line this year. And they've got some new things coming this year.
Yeah, so this year we've got the Patriot Series, which, a lot of people are talking about this as being the cheaper, just fixed position side of things. But let's be honest, they can be mobile too, right? They weigh 12 pounds, but they're built from a value standpoint. So for guys like us who want to have 3, 4, 5 preset stands out there for certain wins, we can put this Patriot Series out there, have them ready. Nothing better than slipping up into one of these fixed position stands that's already set on the right wind.
No doubt. And so this year, as of right now, you can use code HUNTER, HUNTR. It's a one-time use promo code. Gets you 10% off anything on the Lone Wolf Custom Gear website. That's any of the custom gear stuff, any of the Patriot Series. So whether you're planning on getting into one for the first time or you want to stack a big order here before the season, code HUNTER will get you 10% off.
Hunt like a wolf.
So we were talking about
owner finance.
You reminded me owner financing stuff, and so I think we covered that.
Well, the second lien
Carry a
essentially.
second.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So I guess so I'm trying to figure out how that works from a logistical standpoint. Let's just say we're using farm credit.
Bank gets paid first is what that means.
They're in first lien position, so they get to eat first in the event of a foreclosure.
Right,
That's right.
But still, like the bank wants 20%.
Well, do they? So this is the great question is
that you see where I'm going with this?
It is. This
Okay.
all starts with, to me, the lender.
Because they're not loaning you the full value.
Well, but they're
Yeah,
loaning
but they still want
80.
20% on whatever value they are loaning. So,
Maybe. So I'll give a nuanced character of how
Perfect.
could we do this. This is why I love owner financing so much is, let's say you can qualify conventionally to get a mortgage for 80%, but you don't want to put anything down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just tell the seller, the landowner, say, and this is everybody, consult your attorney, whatever, put your undermark. But what I would do, belly to belly, is, hey, I don't need owner financing on this forever. I just need it for long enough for if the bank may have title seasoning or they may have something that they're going to require. Would you give me 6 months of owner financing? Here's why. I need the deed. I need the deed because they'll treat this as a refinance if I already have the deed. And on owner financing, I'm going to have the deed. I'll refinance you out within 6 months. I'm going to give you X for it. I'm going to give you the $400,000 you want.
Yep.
We keep saying, $400. We're going to give that to you. Here's the only thing I'm asking is, can you give me 6 months of owner financing? I'll make the payments to you, whatever interest rate, yada yada. You go to the bank day one, and obviously for me,
here's deed. I got it.
Well, and I'm having that conversation preemptively with the bank, whatever the right word is.
Yeah, you don't want to go make
I'm
the
not
move and then the
surprising
bank.
them.
Yeah.
But I'll say, hypothetically speaking, if I already owned it, because you do, that's the thing people keep forgetting about owner financing is the seller turns into the bank. So he has a mortgage.
Yep, but you have a deed.
Just like the title to a car. So you have the gospel. You have the goods. Go to the bank, refinance it. And at the bank, you're just refinancing rate and term usually, right?
Sure.
We don't need to cash out.
Nope.
This is the best part about the owner financing. Refinance is, on refinance, they loan you 80% of appraised value, not 80% of
Purchase value.
So obviously you got to go in and get a good enough deal where you think there's going to be 20% equity day one.
Yeah.
Right?
Instant equity.
For this to work with no money down.
Which we talk about all the time.
But I've done this multiple times. 6 months owner financing. I did one a while back, 0% interest. 6 months owner financing, no payments, 0%. I owe you 110 when I sell it. Done. And the guy's like, done, because I did everything he didn't want to do.
And are you in most of the cases we're talking about raw land, so it's not like you're not putting them out. You know what I mean?
No. And so the appraisal gets
called. Will
called.
they not loan 80% on the appraised value without a prior?
So that's the thing. Most banks will.
We've done that, yeah.
Well, and like I have a
shout out to done that?
Shout out to Rural First. I have
but we already had equity. Yeah.
No, they use collateral. They rolled our farm in collateral. So this would be like a no collateral standpoint.
But they also would consider what it will appraise for, right?
Well, see, that's
because they do the appraisal before.
Sure.
This is where this gets tricky because you're right. And I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's fine.
The part that you need to talk through with the bank prior is, hey, can I put the seller in second? Because some banks will say, no, we don't allow seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had that.
This goes back to your, and again, I'm not suggesting what you do.
Most of the main banks that are going to end up selling it to
a third party
are not going to put anything in second.
What about this? What if you don't even just count out the seller finance part of it? What if you just go to a bank and say, and they want 20% down, and you say, great, I'm buying it for $400. It's worth $500.
Their appraiser has to agree with you on that.
And that's the problem. So I had this happen.
Very rarely will they.
They won't. The appraisers won't stick their neck out.
Appraisal, though.
They want no risk in it, though.
They won't appraise it for $500 if the contract's $400.
They'll appraise it for $401.
They'll swear. This is my frustration with this process. They'll swear they don't know the purchase price.
Agree.
Magically, it'll appraise for $410.
Exactly.
Right.
Every time.
That appraiser is going to stick his neck out about that far.
Sure.
Yeah. The bank wants zero risk.
So that's why I asked the bank openly, look, can we put the seller in second? He's willing to bring the down payment to this. Mm-hmm. He's willing to do it. Mm-hmm. Can he be in second? The right bank, and I'm going to suggest a local bank or a credit union or whomever, mm-hmm. and walk with me, everybody. Let's say it's not the best rate, but they'll allow you to do it.
Yep.
Walk with me. Date the rate.
Yep.
Marry the farm.
Yep.
Cool. Vinton County Bank. I'm just making these up.
Sure.
There's your local credit union. If they will allow you to do that and put the seller in second, then guess what? In a year, you can cash the seller out because you can reappraise the farm, wrap it all together. You still didn't put any money down. And on that farm example where there was timber, we just paid the seller off with the timber nut. We don't even refinance it. We just have farm credit on the front, pay off the second with the timber. Life's good.
Our Illinois main farm was the best appraisal I've ever seen when buying a farm. We bought that farm at $925.
Yep.
And it appraised for $1,100.
Yep.
I've never seen
pretty awesome.
I've never seen that happen before.
Well, keep in mind,
and I'm not saying, and that's just in limited, like a handful of deals. I've never seen that gap be that instant equity big.
And it really helped you. So keep in mind here. And that's why I love owner financing short term, is because they shouldn't, on a refinance, right? There shouldn't be a number. They shouldn't work off your underlying debt as the number they need to hit. It should actually be just do your job.
What's
as an
the
appraiser.
value? Mm-hmm.
What's it worth?
Yeah.
And tell me. So they're kind of more on the hook. Like, you got to come up with something here.
Yeah.
We're talking bad about appraisers. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
But in this example,
there are. I'm not.
There's some good ones.
Yeah.
Well, 2008. That's what started.
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. That was it.
It was like, hey, you have a pulse. Yep. You have a loan. So that's why we have all
and then it crashed.
Regulation.
Yeah.
Going back to, because this, I'm a verbal processor. This just came to me. There shouldn't be any reason for the bank to have an issue with a second, in my opinion, because let's use 400.
They're going to get paid out first.
400 is the purchase price. We told the seller we're giving you 400.
Mm-hmm.
Farm credits, and farm credit, shout out to them. Roll First. They're giving 320.
Yep.
Seller knows this.
Yep.
You're getting 320. In exchange for the 80 difference, we're giving you a mortgage in exchange for 80 grand cash as collateral. We're giving you a mortgage.
Yeah.
Farm credit satisfied their side.
Yeah.
We were giving you 320, whether you came up with it or he
did.
did.
Didn't matter.
So you now have, and this is in the example, the farm has to be worth, the 400 is fine. Buy it for 400 if the seller will take 20% on a second. But if you won't, give him to give you 6 months owner financing.
Yep.
Most banks don't have title seasoning anymore. They used to have like 90 days.
Yeah, I remember that.
But 90 days is still a racket for, if the appraiser drags their feet, you're now like in
You're
trouble.
75.
Right.
Yeah.
So I asked for 6 months. I just need 6 months just to wrap all this up. And if you really like him and have a great relationship, you may say, look, I'm going to do a select cut on this timber. I know you want to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do like a mega select cut, like 22 and up or just whatever. But I want to do that. This is how I can pay you the money you want. Give me 6 months. I'm going to do the select cut. I'm going to pay you with that money. Take your second out. I got 12 months to pay it off, or you can take the farm back, or whatever you want to.
Yeah.
There you go. And so now you're in. I feel like people don't understand the value of capturing equity like you guys have done. You've been able to do it conventionally, luckily, but capturing the equity in a non-conventional way to get yourself in the game.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. I think another big one for like farms, especially that I'm sure you've come across here is and it's not a secret, but just life estates or just it doesn't even have to be life. It can be, multi-year. Let the person stay there and live out their days.
Especially
in the
those
house.
long-term farms that have been in the
100%.
families for forever, and it's a permanent
it's
residence.
it's a similar give and take too, especially like in an owner finance. It's like if you're going to finance the deal for me, the least I can do is let you stay there for 2 to 3 to 5 years, kind of a thing.
I've got a deal.
Now everybody's super comfortable. It's like I have a favorable interest rate, and you've got a place to stay, no taxes. You know what I mean?
No responsibility.
No responsibility.
You've sold the farm.
You just live here.
I don't have to keep it up anymore. I can just live here.
Yeah.
And I when I would listen to you guys,
We
talk
did
about
that, by the way,
your
with
Illinois deal.
Yeah, exactly.
And hold
We
on.
could have honestly got the farm for, I bet you, $25,000 cheaper had we brought that into play sooner.
If I'm really good, was your seller's name Frank? What was his name?
Carl.
Carl. I remember you guys talking about Carl, but it's beautiful because why that worked is because he won. You won.
That's right.
Like, that's what I love about owner financing.
It was a
no
win-win
one's getting
deal.
anyone. Everyone wins.
Well, and guess what? At the end of the day, what that yielded for us is like even more, there was some personal
Leverage.
property that was left behind, and,
Generational wealth.
a lot of good stuff that came with that.
Yep.
And was Carl upset? Did you get Carl?
Carl bought a new truck.
Did
and
you dupe him?
right
and
away.
miraculously recovered from whatever illness was ailing him.
Yeah, illness. He had a full knee replacement. Hit the bar every
He
night.
looked like $1 million the next
You
time
mean
we
his
saw him.
disability was no longer a thing?
Yeah,
I saw him do cartwheels.
He Willy Wonka'd us. He walked out of the thing all
Yeah.
crippled, and then he cartwheeled.
Yeah. Carl's a great guy.
The
but
magic man.
it was a win-win. I mean, the guy had been there his entire life. We didn't really need the house.
Yep.
Now it's nice that we fixed it up and we've got a cabin and stuff, but
And he got to stick it to his neighbor. He had a neighbor lowballing him that he didn't like, and then we came in and paid a fair price and let him stay there. And
Correct.
it's praised.
It's
much higher than we bought it for.
yeah.
Well, and you guys know, just having, I hate that they call the house, having real estate on the land. It's like the land is real estate.
Yeah,
but they
right.
call having
Structures.
an asset structure changes your loan product as well. I mean,
And I'll tell you
completely.
what, those structures where we underestimated.
Yep.
Well, there's been a whole chain of like undervaluing those. Like, so we bought the farm for $925. It appraised for $1.1. That when we first saw the house, like
you're right. That's wild.
yeah,
Dude,
it's
that
a lot.
appraiser was like, it's Friday. I'm done. Like, I don't really
mean,
care.
it should have
That's
came in at like
wild.
$945.
And you'd have been fine.
I would have been fine with it.
Well,
It
the
appraised.
farm's worth $1.1, and whether the
Hey,
appraiser realized what we
Shout out
realized.
to the appraiser.
Shout out to
My
the
man.
I
man.
don't even know who that was, but we should get
I
him
don't
next
know.
time.
Yeah.
You
Go look
can't.
at. I need him
You
to go
actually
look at.
can't.
I need him to go look at the 80 because that came in at like 10 grand above what we
He
bought.
doesn't
it for.
have his license
When
anymore.
we went and looked at these structures, the listing agent, first and foremost, and then our buyer's agent hadn't seen it. He was seeing it for the first time too. We were told that these houses are teardowns. There's no value assigned to the house, and there's 2 barns there, and we're like, okay, fine.
Still
And
fair.
And I've seen teardown houses. I know what a
Right.
teardown
I would have
house.
been like,
We went out.
okay.
We went out and looked at this house, and I'm like, this house is fine.
It's in
like,
great shape.
Like, dude, he's like,
this
yeah.
guy's from Chicago.
He's like, I rebuilt the foundation
neighbor
a couple of
was.
years ago, and dude, Carl took care of his stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He lived, and it wasn't honestly until the past year or two we started like really spending more time in the barns and stuff. Where we're like, dude, these barns are awesome. The one has the whole it's a poured concrete floor on the whole thing here. You know what I mean?
The one.
There's $100,000 in barns here.
It's 50
Easy.
50
Ask
to
me how I
100 foot
know.
garage.
I'm
Oh yeah,
building
you're
one
building
as we
one now.
speak.
Yeah.
I can tell you how much that would cost.
Yeah.
Well, and so dude, to put it in perspective, granted, we've owned the farm now for 3 years here. It appraised for 1.1, a couple of years ago. I fully believe that farm is worth 1.4 right now.
Yep.
100%. Just
So
the
what
work
is that?
that we've
What
done.
is that an acre? That one was 150.
145.
So what's that an acre now? I need
It was-
that, I need
it
that
ended-
as a comp for me.
without the barns and structures and stuff, we paid like $5,700 an acre, and it's probably worth 72 to 73 at least. We just bought the neighbor farm for $8 an acre. So
Gosh, what idiots!
yeah, I know, right? But to the point earlier, that farm was worth more to us than it was anyone else.
No, I'm saying that
Also, the one that we
tongue-in-cheek.
bought has double the number of
Well,
shooters on
and
it.
you guys said you were able to use your own collateral within the deal.
We didn't
So-
bring it. We didn't bring a dollar down.
Right. I said that tongue in cheek as the listener of like, well, it never goes up. Yes, it does.
It does.
In 1 year, you guys said yours went up like, I remember you saying like 6,800 or something. You had an offer and you didn't do it.
Oh, I mean, it literally could go. You could probably sell both farms for over 8 an acre right now.
Yep. That's good comps. I feel
And
good.
like I said, I mean, we paid market value for that 80, but it was worth more to us than it was anyone else because
100%.
it linked everything up together.
Well, and the way I would say it too, and this maybe helps you guys sleep better, but I look at it when you bring that into the deal with yours, you substitute that price per acre across all your
Yeah, because we
acreage.
just set the new comp.
Right.
It's 8.
Yeah, now you're at 220 acres divided by your total purchase price.
Exactly.
Not quite 8. It was.
Exactly.
That's what I say. Like,
Well,
I'll get it low here, but
Yeah.
I'm just averaging it.
Yeah. Well, and when we rolled them together too, we had a terrible interest rate on our farm to start with, and so we refinanced.
What's terrible, just for fun?
Like 7.9, I think.
No, it ended up being 7.1 originally, but we're at 5.85 now.
Yeah, we refinanced on a 5-year arm to 5.85 for both the farms.
And you said it before. Are you comfortable saying the bank that you're with?
The new one?
Yeah, or whoever.
Yep.
The,
Compeer
Yeah, it's
Financial
Compeer.
is the new one.
okay. I've been hearing it. I'm a big farm credit person. Shout out to them.
Me too. I've got Rural First
Yep.
and I've got Horizon on other farms.
Okay. Yeah. So they've been really great to me. Farm credit they've jumped over hoops and bounds for my barn. Like it's been amazing. But I keep hearing, and farm credit, listen, because I keep hearing there's this Buckland funding that keeps coming up.
Oh no, Buckeye Land.
No, Buckland fund. I promise.
Oh,
Jake Hofer keeps saying it. Buckland funding. That's what it's
is
called.
that they out of Iowa?
He has a commercial now on his thing, keeps saying Buckland funding. So I'm like, well,
I
Curious.
think I know those guys. Actually, I think we almost did some marketing for them, or maybe we did do some marketing for them early in this.
Buckland funding.
I believe
Yeah,
they're out of Iowa.
maybe.
It's
It's just worth you guys know you have to
Yep.
shop. You have to shop around to figure out who's gonna. But maybe
if I'm thinking of the right group, it is.
Yeah.
We did some early my marketing company might have done some stuff with those guys early and this was like years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
But yeah. So Compeer is who we used, 585.
Yeah.
If you're in Kentucky, and she's not the loan specialist, but Emily in Kentucky was good. And then in Ohio, it's trying to think who the Rural First girl is in Ohio.
I have Amanda Falk.
Amanda.
Yeah, she's
It's
amazing.
Amanda.
Yep,
Amanda.
Amanda.
Yep.
Shout out to Amanda. And then my commercial side for farm credit is a guy named Leland Tinklepaw. He's in my neck of the woods, but he's been fantastic.
That's your commercial guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
He's been great.
they were awesome, and I think pretty sure for it's Rural First. I've got rate lock with them. It's a $500 rate lock.
Yeah, I just got they have the patronage program. I just got
Got a
a
freaking mega check.
$4,600 check the other day, and we're all like, "What did we do wrong? Like, did we mess something up?"
Nope, it's just because you're paying interest and they kick it back.
Literally. So I asked him, I'm like, "Can you just put this on my principal and like not?"
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, "Yeah, but like it's an accounting nightmare to like you."
Nah,
you need to-
it's like credit card points. You just say, "Can you mail me my personal check?"
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what you need out of that.
I'll take it in cash.
Yeah, cash
That's right.
please.
That's
Cash
right.
please.
Yeah, but yeah, we were all like, I don't know what this check's for. So.
Well, I mean, so maybe pivot slightly
Sure.
here. Staying on the land market, like we just talked about that like 21, 22 time period where it was like, dude, every farm that hit the market was like at or above. It was just it almost felt insane trying to buy something, thinking at the time you were overpaying. Obviously, in hindsight, you weren't, because things have continued to appreciate. Where would you say, at least from your experience, where we're at in a land market right now?
Yeah, good question. I hear. So number one, I do not claim to be an expert of all things land market, especially all things Ohio, because, and maybe it's every state, but there's like giant swings. Well, there's giant swings in Ohio.
Yep.
2-3 counties, and you're like 3,000 an acre to 10,000 acre.
Yep.
What I have seen that I think is worth speaking to from my own desk is people keep saying, especially with the HD and Megs and all the other things, they keep saying there's going to be a softening of the market.
Mhm.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I have not seen prices go lower. I've not seen stuff sell for lower.
I've seen more farms on market.
Yep. I just haven't seen. Now, again, bring me something from someone that sees otherwise.
Sure.
But I haven't seen a comp where you're like, oh, that sold for $260 in October, and now it's selling for $240. I haven't seen that.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah, in our
Which
area.
in your area?
Yeah, there was a guy that overpaid for a property next to us,
That's what I wonder.
What did that go for?
I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty confident it was for less than he bought it for.
Interesting, because he bought it for $6,500 an acre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. And you think it went for less?
I think it did. Yeah.
Well, and they also were cutting all the timber off of that.
Yep.
Which was kind of a blow.
Well, but he bought it for $6,500 without the rights.
Without the timber rights.
Timber reservation. Yeah, I ran into that a while back. That's an interesting nuance.
I don't like that.
No, I don't either.
It's gross.
It was in my title work, and the guy didn't even know. Luckily, they'd already cut it. This is the Meg's piece.
That's an Amish.
He's like,
play,
already,
is what that is.
Yeah,
weird.
That's who did it,
dude. And this one, they stripped the minerals, timber reservation. It's like, can I go here?
We can we can say that's raped.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And again, back to I said that's why I'm going to sell
that.
This
That
cheap.
may be anecdotal though, so I'm not saying I'm seeing that on the landscape,
But I mean, then it comes down to just pure land and recreational value, which in that case sounds like you got a deal.
Yeah.
But whoever buys it next is kind of getting a deal too.
Right.
It kind of carries at least for a little bit.
I'm not going to give you all of it, but I'll give you some.
No.
Yeah.
You can't give them all of it.
And I'm super transparent. Like, just so anyone knows here, like, I do buy and sell land for a living. I have my own life to fund.
Sure.
This is all I do currently. This is all I do for income. But I have a team. I have 5 full-time people, and they have to eat too. So, like I always tell people, I keep as much land as we can afford to hold, and we sell what we have to.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to sell $12.5 million in real estate this year. We want to.
And you're keeping because of just holding for appreciation?
Just I'll keep for like my own interest. Yeah, I want either a 2-year hold for long-term capital gain,
but an actual strategy.
Yeah, strategy, but mostly like I don't have a home farm now, so I'm kind of like, all right, what like it's a weird. People are like, that's not your home farm. Like, yes, it is.
Yeah,
that's
the
only one I have.
The only one I got.
Right.
Yeah. I will say, like, because and I've been pretty I've been rubbed the wrong way by land flippers in general. We see it in residential real estate. It hits home, and it's like it feels personal when it's on more of the hunting land stuff, because that's we're in that market out, not here, but that's what we're looking for. And you've seen it done poorly, with guys that will just
parcel the heck out of it.
Yeah, rape the timber. You know what I mean? Throw a feeder on it in a box blind, and then put it out. And then there's people, unfortunately, in my opinion, they're stupid enough to buy it. I'm like, 100%. What are you even buying here? But I do see a value to, and I think there's guys like with the right approach. It's like, if you can refrain from getting greedy, and if you can be a part of your community, like I think Bobby Kendall does a great job. We're kind of vetting you out here, but I think your approach is awesome. I think there's definitely a value. Like, if I'm considering myself as a potential client of yours or a buyer, I would say, like, listen, you guys are contacting landowners way more.
Like a lot.
You're going to get leads before I'm going to. So I'm like, okay, I see a benefit to that. Mm-hmm. And from an infrastructure, from like a doing the work standpoint, and having a mindset to do that,
and having the contacts in an area,
I think there's a huge value actually to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to take it farther. What I think Bobby does an incredible job of, and I would love to have the chance to work with him and just learn from him. But the thing that I think he does an incredible job of that I want to do as well is, and maybe I don't understand him as well, but I tell my buyers I'm not going anywhere. Like, I gave phase 1, and I'll tell them openly, here's phase 1. But I just dozed the ridges off a farm. You guys have done this. I just dozed the ridges off the farm. Don't kid yourself. This thing needs work.
Oh yeah.
You need to be putting lime on. You need to be continuing. But I can't plant miscanthus and show you mature miscanthus in 4 months.
It's not going to happen.
I'm going to show you what to do, but I got it to phase 1.
Yep.
I'm here to help you through phases 2, 3, 4, 5, and 20, whatever you want to call that. I'm not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you. I like doing that stuff.
Which I think is a cool thing. And that kind of goes back to like what I was saying earlier about what are the advantages of a you or Bobby or whoever that's kind of in that versus the realtor side of things is,
generally they just roll after the sale.
Well,
not all of them.
They definitely are. So to your point about like the softening of the market, I don't necessarily, and I may have misspoke in the past because I've talked about EHD in Southern Ohio especially, and I've kind of said, hey, I think this market, or I don't know if I necessarily use the word soften, but I made some comment about like there's definitely going to be a weird switch in the market down there. For the first time in a long time, I've seen more inventory on market.
I think this spring is going to be a really interesting time to watch. I mean, I will admittedly say, because I have properties right there in the heart of it all, I will 100% say if someone's looking, if they can be patient and they give a 24-month window to a buy and hold, buy in these EHD counties.
Yeah, it's an EHD buy. I know people that are doing it, or at least strategically planning on buying a pile of them up, because they know in 3 or 4 years it'll be back to normal.
A factory.
And it'll be a factory. Yeah.
And it's been for Megs, it's been the greatest reset Megs has ever had.
Yeah.
Because I had a farm in Megs for years. I love Megs. We had all the 120-inch 8 points you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
Nobody shot them.
Yeah.
Well, we've all talked about this. You have one buck tag. Like
it
we're
was
not
just
managing.
overpopulated. Yeah.
Now they're dead.
Yep.
They're all dead.
They're
so the
gone.
genetic potential of whatever you have, it will be expressed,
Yep.
in my opinion.
Space and resources will be plentiful.
So the guy that's smart, and I hope that guy's listening, the guy that's truly smart, like buys there.
Yeah.
100%. Why? And I'm, to my own detriment. You want to buy in Muskingum because it's proven right now, and it's not 10,000 an acre. It's proven. Oh, great. I'll sell you some land in Muskingum. But
so I would say this. I completely agree with what you guys are saying. The limits on those properties still are what they are, in the sense that like Ohio's regulation, and we can go that way if you want. It's like. Yeah. So,
yeah, to a point.
Maybe I would preface it with a question: is like, and maybe you have to answer it a certain way because of your position. But like,
I'm an open book.
Is there land in Ohio that's worth buying still?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Man, I've been on some farms that I would have said, man, if I just had unbelievable amounts of money, I'd pay whatever this guy wanted because it's that good. Like the ceiling just seems.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? What do you think makes them great? What do you think makes a great farm or property in Ohio?
I would start with it's a pocket. I would definitely start with, people have success in a pocket, and a pocket is hard to find. And generally when people find a pocket, they don't talk about it.
Yeah. So, and they sure shit don't sell it.
Correct. So you got
a pocket of assuming mainly
just good genetics,
good
deer hunting.
Yeah. Good. And to me, a pocket can be even a 2-mile radius. It can be but generally, to me, what makes a pocket
probably people who don't hunt, or it's adjacent
to big tracks, or neighbors that are actually in unison, or just whatever for what a farm that's really hard to hunt. And these guys come in from the west every time and they blow the deer out and they don't know it. And for 20 years they've done it, and the neighbor doesn't shoot them, so they get big. Or a park, preservation, just all these nuances. But start with a pocket; those are hard to identify, so kind of use that as a wild card. I think what makes a farm great for me. Obviously, the neighbors, that's a nuanced thing. That's, if we're giving the caveats of what you can and can't, know immediately, is it a pocket and are the neighbors awesome? So if we set those aside, what makes a farm great in Ohio, I think, is it's the potential for it to possess all the characteristics of a farm that big deer would want to live on. And I know that's a wide funnel. But if we can make access premium, if we can have the amount of bedding that we need to have on it, and we can have the amount of food, that 5 to 10% in acres that we can have on it, to me, that's what makes a farm great in Ohio. Really is. Yeah. Can I hunt this? Can I hunt this without educating them? Can I be here without messing them up? Can I, you guys hear Lee, Lukowski, and all these guys talk about just being on your farm all the time. And you're like me. I like to be there. I like to do stuff. I like to be there. But like, there's a difference in always coming in from the east, even in the spring, just because you do, because that's where your access is, than living on the west. And they know exactly when you're there, and the deer get conditioned to when you're there. So you're already playing crippled at the knees.
Sure.
I think that's the kind of stuff that makes a farm great. Is also if I get my land consultant head on, I love to see a farm, and this is a Don Higginsism. I had Wes Delks to my farm all the time.
Wes.
Really like Wes. They really preach, and I really believe your farm has to be different than everything around it. And can it be? Let's say it's a 2,000 acre block of woods. Your farm can be great in Ohio if you can turn your 80 into what the other farms aren't.
Yeah.
So look at a 10,000 foot view. What is the farm? If it's ag and you can plant bedding and be the only bedding for 2 miles, I think your farm can be great. There's enough that Ohio gets right. We can go into it, but there's a lot I think they're getting wrong, but there's enough that Ohio gets right.
Yeah.
That allows you the deck of cards to be able to produce big deer if you have the right farm. To me, there's enough.
Yeah.
I think if I had to verbally process through this, I don't get asked that question a ton. I think it's, can your farm be different than the farms around you?
I think for me, a root, not like I'm trying to steer it in this direction, but
go wherever you want.
The root of it for me is I'm like, dude, what farm could I buy that somebody couldn't dump corn piles on every side of it? So
one is bordering public or a state park or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Wes always says the power of isolation. So if you, in that regard, if you kind of think of
Island.
that, correct. If you have the only woods and it's all ag around you, sure they could dump corn, but they're going to have to put a ground line up and standing corn every year to kill your deer. Yeah, they can, but it's going to be a lot. But year in and year out, it's going to be a lot more strategy from them than from you to keep the deer on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. By the way, you guys have talked about the fence thing and all that. I'm actually very intrigued by this fence thing. This use the Don Higginsism. If I had a neighbor that had 5 acres and they just were the problem and they didn't want to play ball and I probably would be tempted to do what he does too.
Yeah,
I would
for sure.
I just would. I mean, I would openly say that it's an 8-foot fence or a 10 or whatever it is.
Right,
It's not the whole property's fenced. I want you guys to go see it. I want you to take him up on it because I haven't been there either. I want you to see it.
Don's got, what do you say, 18% of his
and that's not a lot to me. That's not a lot. 18% of your whole farm. Too much
for me.
Have you been out there?
I haven't. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I would love to. If Don's listening, I'd love to go.
The fence thing just disgusts me though. I can't do it.
But it goes to the power of isolation and kind of I think what you're after.
Yeah.
This is what I think Ohio's getting wrong, so we can go there.
I mean, I think that, and this is not picking on counties, but like where you're at, Muskegum, some of these counties, obviously, as you get closer to Columbus and stuff, like it's inevitable that deer are occupying multiple parcels, crushing multiple corn piles, like vulnerability rates are high.
Yep.
Although I don't think that it has as good a soil, and I don't think that it's necessarily as easy to hunt and locate the deer. I think Southeast Ohio, barring the EHD outbreak, has better capabilities of producing age structure.
Yep.
Will it have the genetic pockets? I think it's hit or miss, right? I think you could have 7 and 8 year old bucks a lot down there, but will they have the genetics to produce 180 and 190 inch deer like where your farm is? Maybe not. Some might in pockets. So that's kind of the two.
Why is that? It's just because of the vastness of the
down there
wooded acreage down there.
Yeah. There's a lot of ground for them to cover, contiguous ground without being, I think, vulnerable to it.
Well, and let's talk Wayne National Forest. I mean, it's an unbelievable amount of public. It's like over 300,000 or something
with no legal baiting.
Correct, and it's big. It's big woodsy, and as much as you like big woods, I like big woods. Or which
I
one?
like big woods.
I like big woods too. But I agree with your argument. Like for a deer to be able to get to age down there, it's because there's so much big woods.
Yeah,
and you just have to be on the right ridge.
Just hard to hunt them,
and
they survive.
I know of a 190-inch deer in Lawrence County that ironically was right beside a farm I just sold on public.
Mm-hmm.
The drone recovered him on public.
Mm-hmm.
It was killed on private, but it's Lawrence County. Like that county's not known. But when you see this deer, it's like, geez, how?
I mean,
big woods. It lived in big woods its entire life.
I had a low to mid 70s 4-year-old on my Meg's farm last year. Got him 3 times on camera, maybe. And it was after EHD, so I don't think EHD killed him. I don't think he died. I just don't think he was. I think he was just using the very north fringe of my property.
Yep. And that's a nuance we could talk about.
Yeah.
How many times you guys have known friends that, you have a deer that is 200 yards from your cameras and you never
get them.
You never take a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you almost don't believe them.
I know.
When you have this open neighbor conversation, I shot my one and only booner I've ever killed was in Meg's. My neighbor had 1,000 pictures of it, at least.
Yeah.
I never knew this deer existed.
Never knew he
Killed him
existed.
November 15th. Mm-hmm. I didn't even have time to get worked up.
I was
didn't
just
even know the deer was there.
When you were getting here, I pulled 4 or 5 cards last week when I was down in Meg's. I had just some SD cameras because service sucks down there.
Yep.
And I was going through, and nothing like crazy yet, but I had 3 or 4 bucks that are 3-4 years old. I'm like, I don't know that deer.
Yep.
Didn't have him on any cell cam. Like, just, and he may have been just cruising in there for the rut or late season, but I'm like, there he is. I'm like, I don't know who that is. The Hunter Podcast is brought to you by Beast Broadhead.
Dude, Beast Broadheads. Man, we've been advocating for and shooting expandable, especially big expandable broadheads for years and years now. And it just seems like they just keep making them better and better. And ultimately, with the relationship we forged with the Beaumarts this past year, we're just super excited to be shooting the Beast Broadheads this year.
I mean, this broadhead it's the world's sharpest expandable broadhead out there. It has best penetration, and it's got bone avoiding technology. Ultimately, we want to create the most trauma possible on a deer when we release an arrow. The Beast Broadhead does that for us every time.
So right now you can use code HUNTER, HUNTR, for a discount on anything on the Beast website. So definitely go check out beastbroadheads.com. Do you, I know your business is not as like developed in Illinois and stuff, but you've been, and I'm looking at Illinois as like a non-bait state. So it's like, are you, is there a big difference between, you know, how you're looking at properties in Ohio versus a state like Illinois, or?
So I kind of, the lens that I'm wearing for Illinois, and I'm very high on Illinois, and I can just look at my last season. I had multiple farms that I leased in Illinois. There was a farm I was going to buy, and it fell apart, and now it's back alive. So we can go down any road. But overwhelmingly, the quality of bucks I had on camera was better in Illinois than Ohio.
Okay.
And for everyone in Ohio, and I've had friends on my podcast.
Just generally speaking, across the board. Okay.
75 cellular cameras in Ohio, reveals. I fed 83,000 pounds of corn, 1,500 bushels of corn.
Wow, you and Jared should start a corn farm.
Oh, we have some cornography.
How much corn did you
Cornography.
say? 83,000 pounds that I fed, 1,500 bushels.
It's like not even that much. It goes so fast, man.
So across 10 counties.
It goes so fast.
Listen, I had a guy running full time, keeping
insane.
cameras up. This is the depressing part. And everybody can throw shade.
Oh, no,
that's
pretty depressing right there.
Right. I had a guy doing this full time, running cameras, running bait. And when I say putting bait out, probably 20% of that was in gravity feeders. 80% of that was on the ground, on farms that, farms we've got as project farms or whatever it is, leases, permission, you name it, on the ground. Like no more natural than we can be.
Yeah.
Don't everyone think I'm saying spinner feeders.
Sure.
Back up. Just throwing it out. How many deer in Ohio did I picture over 150? In 10 counties.
One more time.
And how many cameras?
75 cameras on
75 cellular cameras.
1,500 to 2,000 acres?
Over 10 counties, though. So kind of spread, you know what I mean?
And how many deer over 150?
Yep.
22.
5.
Ugh.
5?
Ugh.
Oh.
1 over 170.
Ugh.
Yep. So everybody can, and let's just do some, let's just go ahead and throw it. So everybody can't just use all their daggers. Vinton County, Gallia County, Jackson County, Scioto County, Lawrence County, Muskingum, Fairfield, Pickaway.
How's that possible?
Athens.
5 deer over 150?
You can sign into my account.
That's weak, dude. Why do you think that is? No way. 5 deer?
Probably 5. Now, probably a bunch in the 40s, but like true 50s, probably 5. I'll go really, really take a big case study, but when you get that many cameras going, it's kind of daunting to know what's what.
And
right?
with that much corn?
Yep. So the point of that, and I love what I do, right? So I'm not saying we're taking our ball and going home, but what I am saying is
that'd be pretty close.
When we say 2006 to 2012 was better, I can promise you it was.
Yeah.
I have the data. It was better.
I mean, so if we're literally looking at that as true data, right? 2012 was a massive EHD outbreak again in much of the country.
Yep. That was like the one that was the worst.
That was
Iowa.
one of the that was in Missouri, like smoke show. Even into Western Pennsylvania it hit. I mean, what else do you think attributes in that 2012 to say 15 timeframe that has started this decline?
Well, you guys have talked about this a lot, and I cannot put I will not be able to put my finger on the pulse of like what is the overarching number one issue, but I think the combination of the advancement of crossbows, cellular I have cellular cameras. I just said it, but cellular cameras, the baiting. I mean, I would call it epidemic because what I agree with was 20 years ago, no one baited. Like it was not even an idea.
To that point, I would say 2012 or 13 was the first year I had cellular trail cameras.
Yep. And that would have been, and let's go way back. I used to have coverts.
I had coverts too. They would text my phone. That was the first ones that I had.
Or even before that, I had a rich friend, and he had these Scout Look cameras, or Smart Scouter. Smart Scouter is what it was called. But that was before covert.
Yeah.
And you're right.
Covert was probably the first affordable one.
Correct. Yeah. And I liked them.
I did too. Pictures. Yeah. I mean, it was grainy as shit.
But like it was a deer, and you're like, this is pretty cool.
To the time frame, that was 12 or 13.
Yep. Yeah.
So I mean, is that
truly all of my biggest buck
pictures? Biggest factors?
I don't know of any really, really big buck. Well, I probably have some on coverts, but yeah. Pre-2012, all the really biggest buck pictures were the 8 megapixel Moultrie flash giant black cameras. That was your giant.
Yeah, or like Bushnell Trophy
So,
cams.
so truly, his head's spinning over here. I swear, I mean, Muskingum's really good. And these were 2 farms in Muskingum that were not touched, untouched. So, like, it wasn't overhunting, or it wasn't the nuances that people
So really
would
just
quickly
corn
throw.
pile camera, just monitor.
See it. Yeah. Solar panel, south facing, like what's going on. So again, could we say, well, they avoid cellular cameras? I think
Possibly.
they
Yep.
do. Do you suck at baiting? Sure. Throw every dagger. I don't really care. You've got to trip on some big deer with 75 cameras out. You got to trip on them.
I would hope so.
You can ask. The guy's name's Brian Tanner. He's been on my podcast. Brian, if you're listening,
Damn.
call in. The guy, Matching Carhartt.
Yeah.
Matching Carhartt guy. He'd love to talk to
He
you.
will forever be known as Mark.
Maybe that's why.
But you ask him that. Hawking County, Vinton County.
Do you think that's the case? Like, if you were just to sample people across the state, do you think that's?
I'd love for your listeners to be honest, and I will say, do I think it probably was a weird year? Yes. And did we have an outbreak 2 years ago?
We had a
yes.
it was a massive
Yes.
drought year again.
I mean, I had a booner to hunt on my Jackson farm 2 years ago, and a deer prior to that died of EHD. So yes, there is probably nuances, but I am just saying when people like, and Dylan Gandy's going to yell at me, but I had Dylan on my podcast the other day, and he's like, I see the most big deer that I've ever seen in my life. And I think even Spook said it on my podcast. Like, this is the most big deer I'm ever seeing. And I hear Kip Adams, oh, it's the most big deer this country's ever produced.
Yeah, well, Kip's
Dude,
just going off of DMAP data.
show it to me
that
then.
That
Like,
doesn't count.
Show it to
necessarily.
me. I'm doing 10 counties worth of data. Like,
Yeah.
We hear that also. It is bizarre. It was kind of like
Not to interrupt, but I will say that several of the drone guys in Ohio would agree with your observation. In that,
and that is no better data set. It can't lie.
yeah, I mean, I
yeah.
think Madison said he saw 1 deer over 170
There you go.
in all of his
we
recoveries
talked
and
about
everything.
it. And I want to say, Jared, believe me, I want
I
to be the biggest loser because it means I can fix something. I want you to say, dude, you suck at putting cameras out. Great. Then I clearly have 170s that I don't know about. I've been doing this a minute.
I mean, I would
pretty
assume
good at,
I would assume it's age structure number 1 and high grading number
That's
2.
it. That's it.
I'm inclined to like. I mean, I believe you, obviously.
Let's just say it was 10 150s. Let's just even say it was 10.
Still not good.
That's a lot of counties and data and stuff.
150 per 7.5 cameras.
I would. Yeah, I'm thinking like less than 10. Like there's a problem, but like there is a problem. We've been talking about it. So
well, that's why I'm so hyped about it, is because you guys have brought the uncomfortable topics to the table. I want to remind everyone, I'm also on this like inner soul search, and this is probably a Chris Bracketism, but
you see that missed call I had a second ago?
was it him? Well,
Yeah.
like what?
His ears are burning.
And maybe this is God. Maybe this is a God thing. I think a lot of us need to learn to be okay that a 140 is awesome. And God is good, and land is worth buying, and the world is great, and capitalism and all the things. Because we're all chasing a 170, and so am I. And it's been a shallow road. It's been a very sad road.
It's going to get more shallow.
Right. And so
Shallower.
I'm trying to, because if someone's listening to this and saying, well, then why would I buy land and higher? You just said I can't shoot a 170. I never said that. I just said I didn't picture one.
Yeah.
You might shoot one tomorrow. But if that's all you're after,
You're going to be greatly disappointed.
you should get behind what we're all talking about here, and Kevin Mullet and whomever else, because I'm Kevin. I've tried to get him on my podcast 3 times now. Kevin, let's do this. I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to, and Jared, I'm willing to change how I bait and not hunt over bait. I'm willing to do whatever. The first question somebody asks me about any farm I have, first question they ask, what bucks you got? That's the first thing they want. It doesn't matter.
They don't care.
No.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, like, you don't want to know that it's East Access and an amazing canvas and there's mature. How many? What's the bucks? So when people are like, "Oh, you just have all the cell cameras," because you ask for them. I have to have 10 counties worth of cell cameras because it's the first thing you want to know.
Yeah,
you don't want to buy a farm unless there's a 150 on it.
Yeah.
Dude, what are we measuring? That's what I keep saying. What are we measuring? We're sitting here telling you how much money you can make on this dirt, and you're like, "Oh, there's not a 150. I'm out." Dude, great.
Well, and to me, that's more temporary than the neighbor thing that we talked about earlier, right? I mean, all it takes is having one good 3-year-old to get him to 4, and he's going to be skirting high 60s, low 70s in the state of Ohio.
The high grading thing, I think, is your top deal because, and
that's all selectivity.
You say it. We've gotten better at. We get better at it.
Corn piles and cell cameras.
The deer aren't getting, no shade deer, but they can't advance their hiding and their sustainability tactics at the rate we're advancing.
We know what's
weaponry.
out there.
We can't.
Yeah.
Right. So something has to give, and I forget who you guys last had on, but maybe it was Clint. Clint, like. We're scratching tooth and nail to make access to killing deer easier. We're begging people to kill deer. That's what we're doing, but they aren't. Ironically, they still aren't.
Yeah,
but we just haven't figured it out.
Opportunity. Mm-hmm.
Correct, and they can't. It's like plain as day. Non-residents, and I used to be one. Non-residents aren't coming here to kill does. They won't do it.
Nope.
So 94%, whatever, of the residents you're asking to shoot the quota of all the does that you want killed. 94%.
Why do you say that?
That was the number last year. I'm pretty sure that out of the total doe quota, non-residents, as my chat GPT, it could be wrong, but non-residents killed 6% of the doe quota.
I think it was 11 most recently. Still.
Okay. That makes sense.
So if we're going to not limit how many tags they have, and by the way, let's differentiate here. I will make an argument that a non-resident landowner in Ohio versus just a non-resident is a big difference.
Sure.
I was a non-resident landowner for 20 years.
I am right now.
You're a better land manager than most of the landowners in the state. I'll make that argument. So be careful whenever, don't poo-poo on the non-residents. I'm only on the takers.
Better or just wealthier?
Both.
Better.
Yes.
I would say that
I agree, but just, yeah.
Well, I would say that most are making the area better than it actually is.
I would say
because they're putting money into it. Even if they're feeding, even if they're just feeding.
Yeah.
They're probably putting more money in than the residents are.
Because they want a better experience. Most of them are doing the food plots. Most of them are, ask Matt Stewart, ask Rich Hickson. How many of their clients are in-state versus out?
Now, are they better for the state of Ohio deer hunters? Probably not, because they're choking them out on access.
Yep.
Right?
Sure.
Are they better for the resource?
Well, here's a couple things you're talking about. And I'm probably, I guess I don't know how I feel about like the non-resident landowner thing. Like I do think there's some sort of entitlement, but that also, it's like it's incentivizing it, or it's pushing towards. Like I don't think anybody wants hunting to become a rich man's sport, and that certainly is one way that it's happening. But the prior like dynamic that we're talking about here is like in it. I understand how it sounds, coming from me, a non-resident, to be saying this, but like I really think it's the case. I think it would be so silly to do anything with anybody's access to any state without first addressing like such a low-hanging fruit as baiting. If after fixing something like that is the detriment, in my opinion, and 2, 3, 5 years down the road, we still have an access issue, a non-residency, then okay, great. Then triage it that way. But like you have such a huge problem with baiting that I think it would be, I think it would actually be like nonsense to try to do something with non-residents before fixing that.
I 100% agree. I would love to see baiting go away. I love going to Illinois, parking my truck at a fence corner and walking towards a block of woods knowing I don't need to peek over that other fence.
Mm-mm.
I love it.
Dude, to put it in perspective, like granted it's anecdotal, I know, like anywhere, but like on our 80 acres in Illinois, I think we had 8 deer.
Dude, me too.
Over 150.
Yeah, I didn't say my Illinois numbers.
You know what I mean? Compared to
12 cellular cameras out there, and it's like, yeah, dude, there was like
night and day
5
difference.
deer.
There's like 3 cameras, so it's like they're everywhere.
Yes.
And granted, there are less people in Illinois. Granted, all these things, but like the biggest thing for sure is the baiting.
Oh, 1,000%. So I'm truly saying this. I am putting it on record. Legacy Acres Land Company, I am willing to operate different. Please, prospective buyers, join me.
Yeah.
Stop asking how many bucks
the problem,
do you have?
though, and we talked about it earlier, is like, dude, you can't rely on people, and hunters are no different to self-regulate. We won't. That is what's driving the divide between hunters, neighbors, landowners, is we're all competing with each other, whether we want to admit it or not. I want to shoot a big buck, and if none of you are willing to get on the same page, somebody is going to make more money or have more money. Somehow we're going to buy more land, and
that's the rich-poor division.
That's what we do.
That's happening.
That's what we do.
Is the rich in most cases have always been striving for something greater. Whether that's them forging their own path or, in some cases, maybe they inherited or were born into it, whatever. But they're always wanting more, right? And so if they have the money, they're going to put more to it to get there.
Yep.
That's the separation between rich and poor that's going to continue to separate, is that they want to kill bigger bucks. That's what they want to do, right? And so...
And it's propped up by things that make killing deer easier.
Oh, I'm 100% with you.
That's what's doing it.
I have a question for you. So, let's say we can get people behind this ideology of banning baiting. You guys have had the top guys on here that will tell you the number, the argument, which Mike Rex was one of them, that, we're going to lose hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. That's a lie. 50% of them aren't actually going to leave. They're just pouting.
Sure.
So how do we actually get to a data set? And I know there was a survey put out and someone talked about it. I never saw this survey, or I would have taken it. Yeah, I don't know where it was. Somebody said, maybe it was Clint. Yeah, that there was this survey and all these questions. I would have totally done it. I never saw it.
Do you buy a license in Ohio?
I do. Okay. So
that would be number one, how you get it. Because if you're a resident landowner who doesn't buy a license, you don't get.
Well, and this is going to get interesting for me, just because I'm a resident and I own land, not where I live in the state.
Right.
So here's the question. We talk about Illinois. So would you guys be okay? Because I think the law in Illinois is you have to own 40 acres, talking about non-residents.
Yep.
If there is something that we give a little, because I agree with you, I'm not here to limit access.
Yep.
But if we give a little, I tend to like that. I think Illinois says you have to own 40 acres to get a landowner tag.
Fine.
Well, all right. If we did that in Ohio, and I don't know the data, but I am told, ChatGPT-ish, that landowner, non-resident, over 40 acres is like 50% of the tags.
Mm-hmm. The other 50% being under 40 acres?
Or
public,
just non-resident, just hunting with an outfitter, just whatever.
Lease.
Non-resident landowner that owns at least 40 acres.
Okay.
I am told, and we could get this data. ChatGPT could get that.
Yeah.
How many out of states own at least 40?
I mean, I guess so. But to get there, you'd first have to limit non-resident tags, which they're not currently.
Right, and let's say the number was 35,000 or so last year that were sold, non-resident tags. So we're going to 17,500 tags in this hypothetical. And the hypothetical for everybody listening is you have to own 40 acres now to get a guaranteed landowner non-resident tag. We enter a draw maybe for the others. We do some Iowa isms.
Yeah, I'm fine with some sort of
something
limitation. The problem is just there is no way to know. Like, we're living in such a
How this is the one I wrestle with a lot that I like, and everyone says, well, they'll just cheat and they'll buck the system, and you guys say it too, and I agree. How do we get the earn a buck tag to more robust to work?
In theory, the earn a buck. I was trying to find data, and ChatGPT's failing me. In theory, the earn a buck is great in most states with antlerless problems. In actuality, most states don't have enough resources to enforce it.
That and what I do like that Ohio does, I do like that they have their quotas per county, but most times counties are big, so it's odd. It's a little bit odd. There's parts of the county that they
did good this year with the reactionary adjustments to like EHD and stuff,
correct.
Which was great.
It was late, but it's
they did it.
It's progress, right?
They did it.
So if we talk about, all right, everyone said, well, earn a buck, Ashtabula County, there's 50 does. We don't. Okay, well, then you need earn a buck. Megs, it's EHG. We don't need earn a buck because now we're killing the herd.
Yep.
Okay. Is there a way? I mean, we just seem to have so much technology now. Is there not a way somehow?
I mean, Kansas has a great program in that the app, you have to take a picture of the deer as it lies as part of the check-in.
Again,
and guys can
I wouldn't do it until I got rid of baiting.
Oh, I'm with you.
Just think it's like, why?
You. I just don't think they're gonna.
Well,
I think baiting is your top thing, and it's like the holy grail.
The failure around like we're gonna lose hunters is that's just fear. That if they pull that trigger and they lose hunters, then they fear for their jobs, and I get that.
I make the argument we would gain hunters.
100%.
I would too.
I think you are losing hunters now, and you can't explain it
because they're tired. They're exhausted.
I think the only big thing is that the artificial value of properties less than 10 acres for hunting will vanish.
Sure. Oh, 100.
And I don't know what that number is. If you said how many Ohio deer hunters are, and it's not just hunting, how many Ohio deer hunters are successfully harvesting a deer
on
less than 10 acres?
It's like a lot.
If it is, they'll never do it because they have to kill deer.
But you know what, though?
I
bet there still is a big value for those properties that even if I can't shoot a buck on it, there's enough people that put a pond on it. It's like,
well, I just go back. See, I keep going back to Illinois.
acres?
Like if we use Illinois as the other, data set or whatever, all right, then how many people are hunting on 10 acres in Illinois right now? How many? They can't bait.
Not nearly as many, I would say.
Good.
Not nearly as many. And I would say even on.
I don't know about that.
I don't know either. I don't know.
There's no way. It's not anywhere close.
I don't think there are as many 10-acre
That's
parcels.
why I'm saying that.
But I bet every one is being hunted.
Yeah, but they're just
you're getting into a crossbow thing more than a baiting thing.
Oh, 100%.
Well, there's substantially less hunters, period, in Illinois than there are Ohio. So there's your first take.
And I'm with you on the crossbows. I'm 100% with you. I also wrestle with, because I have kids, and what do we do to get them into the sport? I'm also okay, honestly. And
you give them a great product is what you do. You make hunting awesome again.
So right, so this is where I'm at. I'm with they just.
That's how you get anyone into hunting
until they're 12.
You give them a great product.
I'm with the whole because
we're all for it. We're all for kids with crossbows and that kind of thing. But the underlying thing is there has to be a great product. There has to be a great experience on the other side of it. Mm-hmm. And reality is, shooting 3-year-old bucks with crossbows out of a box blind over corn piles ain't it.
And again, it's a time frame thing. But for what it's worth, my 2 boys have killed 6 bucks on our 28 acres behind the house here in Pennsylvania on a food plot.
Right.
No bait.
Right.
And they've killed 1 buck in Ohio.
I lease a 20 in Illinois. I bought beams back on it. It has a redneck on it. I had plenty of big bucks on that. I will put that 20 with no bait on any farm in Ohio for quality of deer.
For quality.
20 acres.
Yeah.
I drove 7.5 hours, 3 trips because I only had a tag for Schuyler County.
Yeah.
Screwed up and didn't get a Fulton tag. Well, I had 20 acres in Schuyler, luckily, so I hunted the snot out of it because that's the tag I had. Still had great quality hunts. 3 different food plots on it. Mm-hmm. It's 20. Most, so believe me, I won't get behind the argument that the 5-acre guy is cut out. Go do some TSI on your 5. If your 5 acres is beside a cornfield,
there is some
TSI.
I would say, and I'm sure they're not thinking about it as deep as we probably all analyze it, but let's say whether it's Muskingum or Franklin or whatever, obviously if you're in around Columbus and stuff, 5 to 10 acres has value for buildable house development, whatever. As you start to get further away from that kind of metropolitan type area, then it becomes all right, well, this 10 acres sold for $100,000 purely because it's 10 acres with a couple corn piles. People can kill big deer on it. Without that, I don't know if it's worth $10,000 an acre.
Honestly, though, I'll make an argument. I don't know that. I hope I'm right that 10 acres in Columbus isn't being analyzed for its recreational value as much as its buildable value.
For sure.
So they're throwing.
Otherwise, I'd be buying in Columbus right now.
Right. They're throwing those out as a fringe benefit of the purchase.
It's $300,000 at least for 10 acres, and I'm I'm not buying that.
I bought 15 and spent $485.
Yeah, there you go. So it's not. Yeah, cool. Byproduct is maybe good hunting, but
Well, and here's the caveat. Everyone's like, "You're crazy." Well, there's 3 buildable lots, 2-acre lots. They're both worth $250,000 a piece in that township. So I'll have a $1.2 million property once the barn's done. For about $700.
There you go.
Total.
So I mean, I guess the flip of that is let's go to Meigs, right? It's poor. It's 10 acres worth 60 grand now.
The right 10 could.
Is it worth that when baiting's gone? You see what I'm saying? Because now I'm in a poor county where building is not nearly as highly desirable.
I want to say it's still worth that.
It's probably worth 40 or 50.
I mean, I would say
land.
it again. There's certain counties in Illinois we like, but let's just go look at 10-acre comps there. What do they sell for? Are they?
Oh, I mean,
a premium still. The small
90 to 120 easily.
Okay.
And most of those
you
counties.
Can't bait there.
Nope.
So for Ohio to say, it'll never, you're killing the value. No,
that's a good point.
You're not. because they can't do it there, and they're still paying crazy money. The guy the 20 that
to be honest, we haven't looked at that many 10-acre comps. I don't know for sure, but I would say they probably are.
Oh,
the one I hunt, he wants $100,000. It's 20 acres. He wants $100,000. It's $5 an acre. Great.
That's dirt cheap, I think.
Great.
In Illinois.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
You should
cheap.
buy that.
You should buy that.
I'm not gonna buy it, but anyways.
But still,
we'll
you
buy
see
it.
what I'm saying? Like we just bought an 80 for 8, so I would assume that if there was a 15 available, it's probably
buying it.
9 or 10.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah.
What's the 20 worth that I won't buy? What's it worth? 200? I don't think.
The
200?
20?
Yeah, in Illinois.
I'd
I
have to see it, but
What county? Yeah.
yeah.
I would say it's 160 to 200.
Okay, let's go.
That would be my guess.
11 acres of tillable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it's paying. Probably 200. So yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I'm not saying that just to like throw
Yeah.
ballpark, but that's
I think
what we're seeing.
Illinois is such a good canvas for people. Just calm down. We're not trying to kill hunting in Ohio. Just calm down. Here's my argument. Come to Illinois with us. You'll see. And I don't
Or
don't
fix Ohio with us. I mean, dude, it's,
but I'm saying people don't know they don't know there is good in states that don't have baiting. They don't know that the quality of hunts are come.
Well, frankly,
I think everybody's forgot how good Ohio could be.
I know.
And you got people like Rex out there screaming how great it is and stuff because of record books and like all these numbers. Everybody's
Trash.
like, you and I would scratch our heads and be like,
where
is
literally?
this?
I'm like, where are they?
Yeah.
I would
I mean,
ask
there's
them
still
that.
don't get me wrong. They're still killing a lot of 200s in the state of Ohio. Maybe more 200s in the state of Ohio than anywhere else.
And
but there's a
Spook probably would say
very
that.
big gap, right, between
Huge.
the ultra giant that they're killing and the average mature buck that they're.
And here's
they're
what I'll
killing.
argue, and I will go on record arguing why where this gap in Ohio currently is. Name me what you think the percentage of 200s killed in actual rural areas are versus 200s killed in the urban areas.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah.
everybody wants to. Ohio's killing 50, 200. Yeah. In Columbus, in Cincinnati, Cleveland,
Yep.
in an apartment complex, brush pile. Yeah, that's not a data set. Like I love that.
Yep.
That's awesome. I love what Lee Ellis does.
But
and all these guys.
that's what the potential
that's
could be all over
correct.
if it was balanced
That's
out.
what I'm saying. Take actual rural data set where we all
No.
actually grew up hunting, not parking in a Walmart parking lot. Like actual rural.
Yeah.
How many 200s are coming rural?
Not many.
Right.
Because there's hunting pressure.
Because that's what Dylan
I
would
think-
say. Dylan Gandy. I mean, he hunts a lot of rural,
Yeah.
and he's like, I see all these big deer. Yeah, dude, because you're hunting like behind Chipotle.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm not knocking it, but that's not a data set. Jared and I aren't going to go there and plant miscanthus.
That's not where the hunting pressure
I
is.
really think like all other regulation stays exactly the same. I think if you get rid of baiting in Ohio, I think you easily have 5 times the number of mature bucks across the entire
100%.
state.
And Don Higgins
Think about
said
how many
this.
more opportunities that would be for people.
100%. Well, it takes away this pocketism thing.
The problem is they don't want mature bucks.
They want to.
Yeah, but hunters do.
I know that's
No,
And landowners do. Yeah, they do.
no,
I think they do.
What do you mean no?
I'm with you.
no.
2 for 3.
What do they
think
want?
you think the majority of hunters in the state of Ohio want mature bucks?
That's why they're coming here.
Yeah.
To shoot
No,
a
they
big
don't.
buck.
They want big bucks.
They want big bucks. They don't want mature deer. They
Well-
don't give a shit about age.
Well, what? I'll give them that. Sure.
Right?
Get
That's
a-
one and the same. They may not understand it.
Right.
but
They're happy killing 150-inch 3-year-olds.
Well, that's a big buck in the country, though.
I know,
me.
but I'm just saying they
Well,
don't.
yeah, but
they don't
you
want
can't even
mature
have
deer.
that.
That's a very different conversation. They don't want mature deer. They just want big antlers, and that could be a 150-inch 3-year-old for the rest of their life.
And I think in every county in the state of Ohio, 150-inch 3-year-olds in a lot of trouble, and that's okay.
Oh, 100%.
But it's possible right now, right?
Right. But,
Yeah.
But it's. I think.
You
it's,
see what I'm saying? It's
I
just
do,
two
but I think
very
it's,
different.
under attack.
I wish most hunters in Ohio wanted a mature deer. They don't care about that.
Eh.
Frankly, if this deer and a 150-inch 3-year-old were on the same farm, they would not be hunting this deer.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be hunting the 150-inch 3-year-old for selectivity and observation.
That's fine. But you're always going to have that, though. Like, even in Illinois, that's the case.
But that's where you have to understand that is 80% of the deer hunting population.
Is what
Is
they-
the people that
doesn't know
just-
what a big deer is.
They just want a big antlered deer. Doesn't
Well-
matter the age.
And I'll be that guy, like we said earlier, 2006 to 2012. I didn't know how old a deer was.
Nope.
I didn't. I'm in my
But the
middle 20s.
selectivity would even out the ability to select those big 3-year-old type deer,
100%.
right? It was just, you were just out hunting, and if a big deer came through, you killed it. Could be this deer, could be a 150-inch 3-year-old.
I think there'd be a lot. What I would say, maybe this is what you're saying, Jared. I believe there'd be a lot more of the 150 inchers if we removed baiting.
I would agree.
Don Higgins said, and these are the words that I like, is removal of baiting is the great equalizer.
Mm-hmm. It absolutely is.
That's what he always said. And the guy that will debunk that argument or yell about it is the 5-acre guy.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I'm the 20-acre guy in Illinois. That's why I keep saying I'm the 20-acre guy. I'm no different than you.
So whether they want to wait for a 6-year-old, whatever, or they want to continue to shoot their 150-inch 3-year-olds, it's like, okay, great. Do you want more 150-inch 3-year-olds?
They want more 150-inch tier.
Great. So if we get rid of baiting, it'll do that too.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Because you can be right and so can you. It's a both and. It might be a 3-year-old 150. They just want a big buck.
They don't care what the age is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I agree.
They
completely.
Don't. And so that's where like we have to cater the argument. Where I think Ohio baiting argument has failed. There's no doubt that the deer hunting in the state would be better if baiting was removed. Where it's fallen, and Kevin will listen to this, is that we have to stop talking about age and mature bucks. That's tied directly to money and rich people. And 80% of the deer hunters hate us for that, right?
Yep.
Just because like we're buying land, we're wanting to manage, we'll put money in it, we'll put whatever.
We're the richies.
They don't like that. We have to start talking about it in terms of we're trying to get more big bucks on the landscape, regardless of age. Whether you're hunting public or, frankly, this is, like I said this before.
You think that's more appealing to say, well, I just want more big bucks?
That's what they want.
So we just make a shirt. We like big bucks and we can't lie. I mean, it's fine.
It's the one thing that us as like, let's say big landowners and the guys who hunt public have in common is neither of us want baiting.
Right.
It's the only thing we have in common.
Let's go, dude. Let's get the public landowner t-shirt guys on board.
Dude, the public landowner t-shirt guys, they don't want baiting, nor do we. It's everybody in between. The Hunter Podcast is brought to you by Rack Hub.
Well, dude, sheds are starting to hit the ground.
Yeah, and although we usually don't find many of them, we've done pretty well this season so far.
I would say for just, a handful of walks, we've got a pile of sheds to show for it. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, if shed season would end today, I think it was pretty successful.
So this year, we're partnering with Rack Hub. It's an antler mounting system for your sheds.
Yeah, and obviously, people have watched our podcast. We've got this massive pile of sheds that are on the table at all times, but you guys took the time to set up Wide Boy Shed on the R1, which is a really cool way to now have that thing right off to my left-hand side during the podcast.
So some of these sheds just call for a little bit more appreciation, I guess. So rather than being on a pile on the table, we're going to mount them on the wall, and they look awesome. So
yeah. And so if anybody wants to try Rack Hub, you can use the code HUNTER10, HUNTR10 at rackhub.com to get 10% off your order.
Use Rack Hub to make the most of your shed season.
So, question for you. So this is what I'm thinking, or both of you. I think if we remove baiting and we just say, yeah, they just want to kill big bucks, it might be a 2-year-old. Let's all just throw the 140-inch 2-year-old in there.
Yeah, I don't care.
It might be a 2-year-old. Take Iowa. Let's take Iowa, to me. And I loved having Skip on my podcast just because he is a conservationist to his bone.
Yeah, Skip is Skip.
Skip is, so he's a great guy to listen to. So what I think we could get there in your argument that I tend to agree with is let's just say they do want big bucks. All right, great. We remove baiting, and in 2 years, the entire country is like, whoa.
Yep.
Look what's coming out of there. Great. All right. So now you're a young buck and you ran down and got one.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's shift gears over time to let's walk down and get them all, meaning let's teach about age structure. You like a 3-year-old 150? Go to Iowa and shoot a 3-year-old 150. You're deflated.
I think it comes pretty inherently. Like, dude, you go to places where mature bucks are and big bucks are, people understand, that like, hey, they get that way when they get old.
I think it would get there is what I truly
will.
believe Iowa, you don't go there to shoot a 3-year-old.
Not that they're saying, Jeremy, like, oh, that's just a 3-year-old or whatever.
But they get it.
Think of somebody in Kansas who, when they see like 150-inch they're like, yeah, and that's just a young one. Like, look what he is.
Well, I mean, it's a time
because they know what it could
be.
Like
you're sitting in a state right
tomorrow.
now.
It's not tomorrow.
That we killed 96% of our bucks were 1.5 years old, and then in 2001 we had antler restrictions. Right? It took, I'm going to say, 15 to 20 years before now your average deer hunter in Pennsylvania probably shooting 3-year-olds on average.
And that's what I mean is if Ohio's ceiling currently right now, that's ceiling of excitement is a 3-year-old 150. I'm actually okay for the sake of progress.
Yeah,
like you're saying.
I don't think it would take that long. I think that was like they did newspapers and freaking radio. Like nobody knew what anybody was shooting. Nobody had any trail cameras.
How many bucks can you shoot here?
One.
So if we just compare the stats, do you have a long gun season? Can you use rifle?
Yep, for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania. Same with West Virginia. It's a very long gun season.
Yep.
So that's, we're poo-pooing on a lot of stuff Ohio does, but there is a lot they get right. I love that the gun season's late. I love that it's short.
$1 buck. Yep.
I mean, the bow season's a grind, but I actually like that it's that late.
I think, dude, honestly, the only thing, and
I think it still will take
down the road.
It still will take 10 years before people adapt to it.
I think it takes
5.
3.
3 to 5.
3.
I was gonna say 3
You
to
think
5.
that people will graduate out of killing big 2 and 3 year olds in 5 years in the state of Ohio?
What do you mean graduate out?
Like to go to, hey, I'm not going to kill these big 2 and 3 year olds. I'm going to kill big 4 and 5 year olds.
I think we'll be way less effective at killing them.
Well, I'm saying I think the pendulum starts to swing enough that we're tipping towards 4 and 5 year olds in 3 years. We're shooting more 4 and 5.
I think in 3 to 5 years, in the first year or two, we have a lot of guys that are like, I didn't see anything this season. Like you know what I mean? Because I don't know how to hunt not over a corn pile. But at the same time, if they're running any cameras or talking to the neighbors, they'd be like, but there's some freaking giants out there.
So,
and that's how it exactly was for me in Illinois. And gotta be you guys. Like, I didn't get this deer on camera, but dude, the neighbor, like
So I don't think, unpopular opinion, I don't think that you will change the age structure of deer that you're killing in Ohio on average. However, I think because there's no baiting, the selectivity will change. And so on average, we will recruit better deer into older age classes. Does that make sense?
That and you could gaslight ourselves. We're shooting better deer in 3 years, even if they're still 3-year-olds.
Right. So, and I'm just saying, because if you guys are saying that we're going to be less effective at killing the younger bucks, then you're telling me that we're going to kill less deer in the state of Ohio, and I don't think that's the case.
No. I would agree with you that and
I think we'll kill more deer over time. That's the goal.
More bucks?
Deer.
No, see, I'm saying
Antlerless.
I think you'll kill the same amount of bucks. It just will be less selective. So some dude might kill 140-inch 2-year-old, like absolute freak mass. The next guy might kill 110-inch 3-year-old because he's not targeting, like he doesn't have the selectivity at his fingertips like he did with baiting. So you're good. And so then the 153-year-old makes it to 4.
Maybe.
Right now, it's very selective in who's getting to the next stage because we have all the tools at our fingertips. So I don't think we kill more bucks. I think we kill the same. I just think because it's more randomized, we get some of the better deer making it to older classes, but we also lose some of those better deer. Right now, we're losing almost all the better deer.
Before they ever get age.
Exactly.
And a 2-mile radius, unless you're me, that apparently is terrible at cameras. In a 2-mile radius, you know what the best deer are
Exactly.
now. Currently, because you have a bait pile, so do I, and so do
Super
they. So
easy.
everyone has a picture with the deer in his neck up
Yep.
of that deer.
Yep.
Everyone does. Now we remove it, and it's back to the great unknown. It's why you would go hunt a farm that you're like, I don't really know if I know everything that's here.
Well, we talk about it in Illinois all the time. It's like Illinois is the one place where, like, I must know in August, I'm like, here's all my bucks I'm targeting. In Illinois, I don't, because there's no minerals.
Right.
So it's like I'm just on a soybean field, and I'm like, I don't know what's
and
here.
I had no deer in September in Illinois that I was excited about on any of the beans. And you look out, it's because there's thousands of acres of beans around me.
Yep.
Guess who left theirs the whole time?
Exactly.
So
yep.
Yeah. So I think that changes a little bit. I mean, dude, the only and I would hear arguments for non-resident limitations at a certain point in Ohio. I think that's reasonable. I don't think. I mean, you know what I mean. The crossbow thing, maybe we talked. The only 2 things that I would touch is I would get rid of baiting, and I would carve out a doe only season. You know, firearm doe only season and I would stop the archery season for buck season during that time. That's all I would do for like 3 years.
And you won't touch crossbows?
Nope.
I don't.
There's no reason.
Again, I wouldn't do anything until I see what the baiting thing does.
Because the one thing you can't do if you put these in play is you cannot let the deer harvest number drop. The moment you fail on that, you lose. You lose all control.
I would do a nice doe season too. I would do like a
week long.
Maybe
I do a week long in December.
Well, and the thing we haven't talked about, and we can circle.
We do need to bring it.
we
in
can
here.
land the plane.
I know.
But
Me too.
something we haven't talked about that I think Illinois does well as well that I think Ohio could do is if Clint and all these guys that say we have to kill more deer, Mike Rex or whomever, we have to kill deer. We have to kill deer. That's the greatest thing. Have to kill deer. All right. Well, then if we're not going to do the earn a buck, then let's give a $1 doe tag out, and we're going to fund this hush program or whatever in Ohio. We're going to fund.
Well, yeah, they're using the prisoners right now, which I think in one area.
Yeah,
I think that's an awesome program.
Right, lean into this. Lean into if the DNR, whomever it is that says insurance lobbyist, whomever says we need to kill deer. All right, well then
it's everyone. Everyone agrees.
Put your money in where you.
They say they don't have any money.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right. Insurance lobbyists.
Hypothetically, and I know we got to wrap. Hypothetically, if you got rid of baiting, would you do an earn a buck for a second buck tag for landowners?
I'd be 1,000% fine with that, but I'd have to figure out how do you get. I would want to know how. Obviously, guys are going to cheat and take a picture of a doe from last year.
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like AI, dude, like we have Browning trail cameras now that are checking, and other cameras that are checking bucks and doing like, how can we not use AI to say that picture's old or that picture's already been on the internet?
been used.
Right. Like
that's a roadkill.
I would consider it. I mean, maybe down the road. I don't think out of the gate.
Well, but think about this. Because in that argument, it was Illinois. You just had the other guy on, and he said, how many people killed 2 bucks?
Not very many.
Yeah, what, 6%?
Very few. Yeah.
Right. So you're dangling a carrot. I'm biting that carrot every time.
Yeah,
how many does you want me to shoot?
It's a small. Yeah. So you look at it like it's a small number of bucks, but it's also a small number of does. So it's like, is it a valuable trade?
Maybe
is it a small number of does? I don't think it is.
I would whack
it's
a
only
doe.
as many does as it is bucks, which is
not necessarily. Well,
it's the chance at a buck.
How many people kill 1 buck and then shoot their doe, but they fail to kill the second buck?
That's what I'm saying. He said only 6% got 2 bucks.
Got 2 bucks.
Right, but they're going to whack a doe to have the chance.
Exactly. Is that 30, 40%?
Right. And if you're after the numbers, then find a way to get us to shoot the does. My whole deal with the non-residents is, and you said it, they're not coming here to shoot does. You're not asking them to.
Yeah, it's not a big.
Or make a
non-resident
earn a buck.
Either way.
Sure.
Make them shoot a doe.
That's not that many people though. Like it's a small portion of the population, very small.
It's 94,000.
Yeah.
35,000.
What's the percentage of the total number of tags? It's like 10%. Less than 10%?
14%.
Yeah. So it's not, your residents manage your doe population.
They absolutely do.
So I would just lean into giving them as much access and time to do it unimpeded as possible.
I think the baiting, and people argue this all the time, but I 100% believe that a baiting restriction will open up more land.
100%.
100%.
Because I wouldn't take more land that I can't monitor. I think right now, and I'm not picking on them, but I think outfitters consume a ton of land.
Do the math. Like we just talked about too. Like people have that much land in order to find that specific, a big buck or old buck, whatever we're going to call it. If I can multiply that by 5 by reducing the thing that gets them killed, then why do I need to own? I can own a fifth of the amount of land and have the same result.
And I can't monitor more land effectively without a bait pile.
It doesn't get undone in 1 year, but over the long term, it's like, why am I going to continue to pay taxes or I'll sell this off? You could hold potentially 3 to 5 times the number of hunters in Ohio with the same or higher level of success than we're having now.
Seems like common sense. I mean, like I said,
and shoot the number of does that we want to get shot.
Somebody at the commission or Wildlife Council has to fall on the sword and be an adult in the room. This is where I was going back to like, hey, this is what 80% of the guys want. Us 20% want this. Ultimately, it just takes one adult in the room to say, this is what's best for the resource. I thought we talked about it really well with Josh from Michigan last week, which effectively it will be coming up in a podcast. But his quote from his buddy was basically, if you do what's best for the resource, you're doing what's best for the hunters.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Ohio and many other states, not just picking on Ohio, have been very much like, what do we need to do for the hunter? And that obviously is not what's best for the resource.
Yeah.
And if you manage that way, eventually
and
your resource
will
be destroyed.
There was more to that quote too. I can't exactly remember it, but it was you got the first part. It's like do what's right for the resource, and you'll do what's right for the hunter. Do what's right for the hunter, and you'll ruin the resource.
Yep.
And ultimately the experience for the hunter too. So
yeah,
and that's where we're at.
Take this as a national thing of almost like border patrol. It's like, well, everything that's hard to get to can be great. Anything that's easy to get to won't always be great.
Won't always be great.
And we continue to make it easier.
That's why our recruitment and our retention sucks, is because the product is sucking.
Yeah, where are we going to put them?
Where are we going to put them, and what are they going to shoot? They got to buy 75 cameras, 83,000 pounds of corn, and 15 to 2,500 acres to maybe have 5 150s.
Well,
hope.
And that's why I said I think the guys.
What kind of product is that?
And this is a recruitment thing too.
That's
a lot of the
Illinois.
people, a lot of the public land hunters, man, they are on the train. They're like, let's do it. Let's figure it out. Because their experience is going to be dramatically better if corn piles get taken off a private.
Right, because they're going to go back to
they're
some
going to
private.
go back.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, sure, there's the guys that flex. Like, I only hunt public. Like, awesome.
Cool.
You usually only do it because you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
You lost everything else.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, like, we know what the right answer is. I haven't met one single person from Ohio that cares about the resource that is advocating for keeping baiting. Every single one of them sees that as like the thing that would solve everything.
I mean, I think Mike Rex does care about the resource.
But the guys complaining about baiting, that's the thing. This is the hard one for them to hear. Is the guys that are complaining about baiting say, I've heard the words, it'd be so selfish to take baiting away. I mean, it's so selfish to care so little about a resource that you want to hawk it in an urban area with a bait pile in someone's backyard.
I agree.
Just to shoot a big buck for views. That's selfish.
Yeah.
Because we all want to win.
And not everybody's in that exact situation.
No, I know.
But yeah.
But I've heard it. I've heard it. So last thing, if you guys don't care, I try my best on my podcast to try and educate on like the things we talked about, getting into land and like trying to overcome the leap and all those things. What I really appreciate about your guys is it's so deep and entrenched into the hunter world and the hunter ethics and all those things. So if anyone listening is like, I'm intimidated, but I'm excited and all the things about trying to buy land, like that's my hope for my Legacy Through Land podcast is to try to help educate, empower, help you build your belief that you can do this. Not every week is an episode about, the tactical approach to buying land. But like if you listen to the whole episode with Spook Span a couple weeks ago, I didn't ask Spook how to kill big deer. Like everyone knows that he kills big deer.
Yep.
I asked him about your land ventures. I asked him about his first farm that was 7 hours away in southern Illinois. Like the stuff that we probably all didn't know.
Right.
That is the story behind who we know. That's kind of what I tried to do. So my only shameless self-plug. Hey, listeners, come check my podcast out. I'm getting tens of views, and I'd love to.
Well, we talked about us coming on to tell our backstories and stuff too. So that'll be cool.
Yep, love to have you guys over so we can kind of hear how did we get to Hunter today from you guys. So we'll just tease that, everybody.
That'd be cool. Well, dude, we appreciate you coming out and driving over. Fun. Yeah, super easy. Like, dude,
sorry for kind of short. We could probably
not. No, dude, this is awesome.
I mean, I think it was like 3 hours. I don't know for sure, but
well,
like
we're gonna
breeze, dude.
We're gonna share camp together. We're best friends. All the things. That's it.
Yeah. Cool. There you go.
Sweet.
Well, we appreciate everyone listening to episode 312, I think, of Hunter Podcast, and we will catch you all next week.
Later.
Peace.
Take me